Hi, everybody. Ooh, you can see the entire room behind me, and what a concerned mess it is. Grandma, I'm here back in the boys' room, where my desk is, but I put it in the corner by the window. Yeah, so you can see the fire pit that I fixed last weekend, and that big pile of blue crap there is the wood that they chopped for it. It's fun stuff. We're not homesteading or anything. We literally just have a pile of wood under a tarp in the backyard. So, yeah. Hi, everybody. Is somebody here or is it just me? I think it's just me. That's fine. Mary, where are you? Melissa, who gave us our wonderful topic for today. I hope you are here today, Melissa, because it really, really, really is a good, well thought out topic, which I'm going to read off at least a couple of times during this session, I'm just sure. Cannot get down below the video and like my own dang video. I know that's tacky, but everybody does it. Doesn't want to let me do that. Whatever. I think my hair looks a little less crazy today. I really tried real last night. I really did. um, is the light too bright? Maybe if I turn off the overhead light, then you won't be able to see all that crap anymore. Good idea. Meet the guitars. And I should go get my candle before anybody shows up too. Yeah, that's better. Now it's just like all shadowy back there. That looks a little less cluttered, right? The light on my face is still way too damn bright, but hi somebody. How you doing? We're going to be talking about how conservative men are hypocrites today. Yeah, which is a topic that was given to us by one of my lovely viewers, Melissa McCann. Hi, Melissa, for watching this ever. I hope you are going to be here for our discussion today. Thanks for the like. Hiya, let's remember. What up? How you doing today? I'm going to go ahead and run in the other room real quick and get my candle that I left burning in there. It's okay. I'm going to take you with me. Don't worry. You're going to get the little 10-cent tour again. How are you doing today? Is it raining there too? And they're getting ready to go run some errands without me. Oh, hi.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Okay.
I love you.
Oh, yeah. Have fun, baby.
I will. I'm gonna do some errands. I really do.
I know. I love you too. Mwah.
See you soon.
He's such a ham. Be safe, guys.
Oh, is the Jeep unlocked?
Should be.
Okay.
Oh dear, what's happened? Anyone else's earbuds randomly connect and disconnect? Raining yesterday. I forget where you are. I'm terrible with that. If you're east or west of me, I don't remember. I know they had an ice storm, like up north, I guess. I saw something about that. I don't know. I'm lucky I can keep up with our weather. We're directly between two weather stations. In Australia. Oh, well, then your weather is probably not connected to mine directly. Yeah. So it's summer there. Cool. Probably a warmer rain then. You know, I bet if I sit down, that will help. If I stop moving around. Mm-hmm. My music stopped playing. Boo. There we go. I got my good chair back too. Anyone who's into old furniture, this baby right here is almost 100 years old. 80 some odd years old, at least. From the Second World War. It is an off chair. My grandfather told me that anyway, who gave it to me. He said it was a military office chair from back in the day. So, thank you. I love it. It's and it fits under my little desk. It doesn't go with the desk. The desk is Ethan Allen from 1972 or something like that. Nice. Does it roll and pivot like mine does? I think they're gone. I'm going to shut the door anyway. Whee! Good enough. So here goes the door again. Ooh, I love a big old desk. Is it big? Does it have a lot of little drawers and cubbies and stuff? Nice. It's not a roll top, is it? God, I love those. You know, if you ever meet me, a roll top is one of those where they have like the panel disc that rolls back. Disc, the panel, like, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, they're awesome, and I've always wanted one. And it like rolls up, and the writing surface is underneath, and it has all these drawers and stuff. Classic writing desk type stuff. Love them. Always wanted one. One of these days, right? One of these days. Old fancy man desk. Fuck yeah. Fuck him. Because you got it now. Hell yeah. Love that shit. Love that shit. Had me one of them for a hot minute, but I had to break up with his grandson, so I gave it back because he wanted it back. I'm like, I'm not fighting with you over a desk. So have it back. But it was sad. I almost missed the desk. No, I do. I miss that desk more than I miss him. Right, yours now. That's right. Oh, we're just having a chill morning around here, honestly, because, well, it's the dang sun never came up today. I don't know where the fuck he is. What's going on with that? I'm just a sensitive, moody bitch, I guess, because when it's all gray and rainy sometimes and cold, really, it's a combination of the gray and the rainy and the cold. I just have trouble getting up. I have trouble waking up. And then I have trouble staying up. I just want to go back to bed. It's not you guys, for sure. It's definitely not you guys. Even though only my lovely friend Leslie Remember is actually talking to me right now. For some reason. There's a couple other people here. Why don't you say hello in the chat? Come on. Don't be shy. That's not why we're here. Goodness knows. Hey. And we just had one more join us. Cool. We were talking about antique desks. Who the fuck doesn't love a really solid antique desk? I know I do. I'm not going to show you mine right now because I'm doing something on it that I'm not going to do on camera, but it's an adorable little like 1960s, early 70s Ethan Allen child's desk that needs refinish really, really bad. But I can show you my chair because we did that a second ago. Here's my 1940s Military office desk chair. Whee! Oh yeah, the feet are fun. Look at the feet. Can you see them? That might be the best part. With the little black caster wheels that are probably Bakelite, right? For a sec, when you said the sun didn't come up, I thought you were being serious. Oh no, I'm sorry. It is just winter here. So, it is the dead of winter here. Dream typist chair. Yeah, right? The only problem is my legs are just a little too short for it, so I need like something to put my feet up on, or eventually my back just kills. Stuff designed by men, for men. It's okay. It's okay. We're used to it, right? Oh no, we lost everybody. Well, no one likes old desk chairs, so you know what? That's fine. Peace be to you. And why is the door open again? What the? This does. Yeah, whatever. Losers don't appreciate good furniture. Can you see what is above my head? Can you see that elephant's butt? That's an elephant's tail. That's a giant fucking stuffed elephant. Check that shit out. Up there on top of that shelf. That's a giant stuffed elephant. That's what that is. You can see him. Which my grandfather brought back in his big rig from California because I'm from Indiana, y'all. Woo. In the 80s. Yeah, you just don't get rid of something like that, do you? It's a life-size baby elephant, for God's sake. Why? Why did this man do this? Why did this man bring a small child like a giant stuffed elephant? I have no idea. I don't know. And it did not occur to me until like literally just now to wonder that. Because I can't imagine. Men, right? My gosh. Oh, and like not even a man, like just a man. Wow, you know that wow might be what the better question might be why was it made in the first place? But yeah, sure. Why did he buy it? Well, I think he needed someone to keep him company to sit in the passenger seat. It is big enough to take up an entire car seat for certain, and or truck seat or whatever. Why was it made? I don't know. We got it in California. I have not actually quite made it to California yet. The closest I think I've managed is Vegas, or Spokane in Washington State. Never quite carpool, right? With an elephant. Yeah. Cop pulls you over. So your passenger is going to remember what you said to him. Like, because elephants don't forget. I don't know. No plausible deniability there because elephants never forget. Can't tell them your secrets. Yeah, but so no, why was it made? I don't know. It's California. I've never been there, but I hear it's nuts. So why did they make a giant life-size stuffed baby elephant that's right there on top of that shelf there? I don't know. I don't know. Why did someone make it? I don't know. Like, I have also somewhere in this house a real Siegfried and Roy little white tiger thing with like the tag on its ear and everything from the Mirage, I guess it was, that hotel where they used to do the white tiger shows and whatever. Why was that a thing? And then one of them got mauled. It's like, yeah, because no one saw that coming. You know, I've kept him nice all these years because my grandmother got that one for me. Dark fancy, right? I've kept him pretty nice too. So I figure maybe he'll be worth money someday because they don't make those anymore. Geez, he's already like 30 years old. Do you have anything like that where it's like a toy that for whatever reason you just never really played with? So like it's still nice? No, I never played with the damn thing because it's too fucking nice. It's adorable and soft and fuzzy, and I was just old enough when I got it to go, ooh, I shouldn't touch that one. because it was, from this, it had this fancy backstory. It's like, yes, they really do with the white tigers and blah. I was like, why? They do? What? Cartoon? A collectible from a German TV. I did play with it, but it's still nice. Collectible from a German TV show. Ooh. I know nothing about German TV shows. Excuse me. But I wager it's off the air now, right? An OG Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. Do you think those are going to be like from the 90s? And do you think the original sort of design of Buzz Lightyear is going to become like kind of a rarity? You know how sometimes that happens? They'll redesign a character and all of a sudden the original one will just sort of not be around anymore. And you're like, wait, what? What happened? Or for some reason, the original cut of Star Wars comes to mind. That really upset some of the people around me at the time when it happened, when they re-released Star Wars, all that edited stuff in it. Probably got $200 for it at the moment because of damage. I have no idea how much the little tiger is worth. I have no idea. But I mainly kept him around because I'm a sentimentalist like that. And both my grandparents are, gone from this world, so I have this, that, and the other thing to remember them by, like you do. And I figure, it's probably the kind of thing that might be worth something as part of a lot in 50 years when I'm dead, kind of thing. It's not my retirement fund or anything like that, no. Man, I'm just making a mess of this desktop today. I'm a mess today. I'm just a mess. Oh. Where the heck is Mary? Where's V? Where's all the other folks who usually come to these things? I know those two are American, so maybe they're dragging ass this morning too. Same. Got some furniture from my grandpa and his wife. Some of that might be worth something. It's at least better quality than a right. Anything you'd afford today? That's for damn sure. This desk is 100% wood. The sides of the drawers, the bottoms of the drawers, the backs of the drawers are all wood. There's not a piece of particle board or lacquer of or facing anywhere on it. It needs refinished really bad because it's been moved around a lot. And man, there's one deep scratch on here that my ex, who I mentioned earlier, funnily enough, his brother, well, they moved it in his convertible across town. IKEA or inherited, right? I have moved so many times. Honestly, I don't even have most of the stuff I've had anymore. Got a pretty nice piano bench over here. Because I do take the opportunity to get things when I have it. And out in the living room is a 120-year-old piano that I got for $50 from a fire station. Because they wanted to get it the fuck out of the way. So. And this is the bench that goes with it right over here. Because again, this room's a mess. It's sort of in transition. Yeah. I had one in my house growing up, and then so I fiddled with that my whole life. And then I went to college for a while and I was technically a voice major. But you have to do keyboarding, which in music college is piano. So, yeah. Taking lessons here and there. It's just kind of one of those things. It's just a little thing I do. Thanks. Do you play anything? And we got guitars laying around, if you can see them. And that one over there is my son's bass, kind of hiding behind the chair there. Up against right there. Behind the chair there. And he plays piano too, that boy. You sing. Awesome. Have you ever been in choirs, or did you study, or you just like to sing to the radio? have guitar. That's a never ending. You know what? That's what everyone says. Even the greats agree with that. From what I've seen, that you never stop learning the guitar. In choir once, but it sucked. And you had a bad director, and I'm so sorry. I've had so many different experiences because, all right, mine, it's brown today because I'm incognito lately because I'm tired of people, well, treating me like a weirdo because I have red hair. But yeah, so I naturally have bright red hair, flaming bright red hair, and between the combination of that being kind of having a big mouth, people noticed me growing up, and when they realized that I could sing, they put me in the choir every time. So, and it's fine because I can sing like most people walk down the sidewalk, like not to brag. Before I chain smoked for 20 years, especially, it's just one of those things. So, I was chubby and freckle faced, looked like fucking Annie, and could sing, and so they never put me in Annie, strangely enough. That never happened. Thank goodness. People used to sing it at me in the school hallways, though. All the time. Oh, the trauma. Oh, the 80s film-induced trauma. Well, no, I don't want to be an Annie. I am not Annie. You don't understand. I'm going to find this picture for you because it is, I was looking at this yesterday. I identify with this so much. Oh, my goodness. This is my spirit, my little spirit animal here. I am the darkness. Okay? Like, yes, I'm adorable, but I'm the darkness. All right? What up? Not a K-pop fan. What up? How you doing? Is it raining there? Should I make this my profile picture? It's my spirit animal. Yeah. It's one panel of this little, it's like 4 panels. And like right after that, he goes, oh, all right, I'll give you cuddles. But I am still the darkness. She. I'm going to make it a she. Duh. Yeah, right. Cute darkness. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I relate very much to it. Yeah. And that's why the hair is dark for a while, because I'm tired of people thinking I'm Annie, basically. Or Molly Ringwald is the other one I get. God forbid I have, like, can you imagine if this was red right now? I would look just like her. Except that I don't. I look like me. Pretty sure she has brown eyes, for one thing. Bats at a rave? No. What is that? Is it like, please tell me. I bet it's not what I'm thinking. What is it? I must know. And I'm going to turn you for a second. Here you go. Look out the window because at the messy yard and at the fire pit that I rebuilt the other day. Because I'm going to do a thing real quick. See, that's the patio. And then beyond that is, I think it's on behind the table. That blue heap there is our pile of wood that they split for me. Because that's one benefit to living with men. My husband and my 15-year-old son split a big old pile of logs for the fire pit that I rebuilt. No, it's like partially covered with the, I don't understand. Why can't I see it? Oh, it's the other way. That's why. It is that thing, that little bit of brick there. It's like covered with the, and there's our wood wagon. A video of upside down bats with gosh ravish music behind it. It's hilarious. Sounds good. What I was thinking was, sometimes they'll have raves in interesting places. So maybe they'd have one in a place where they might get interrupted by a flock of bats. Yeah, all those pretentious people and all the super brightly colored, layered plastic jewelry and shit, high on all kinds of stuff. And just, the black screeching darkness just I'm sorry, but that would be very funny to me. Because I'm just a little bit evil. Just a little bit. But yours sounds good, too. Looking forward to that. Oh, yeah. I'll put the ashtray up here. So I can smoke in here because there's no one home. Except for a 15-year-old who goes to high school. So at this point, there's probably nothing I can do to that kid that would scar him more than that. No, that's not true. I'm his mother. I can scar him for life at any point, whenever I choose. Forgot that links don't work in chats. What? Yes, they do. I do it all the time. Searching hanging bats filled and upside down. I will. This is not a reaction video, but definitely going to be doing that later. That's what I do of an evening, really. I don't watch television anymore. Ever. I am on the YouTubes. If I'm watching something, it's a YouTube video. 90+% of the time. So always looking for new content, always looking for new content. My face is all blown out. Sorry. At least I have eyelashes. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. We had a topic for today, and I would like to get to it. We're almost half an hour in, so let me pull that up. And it was essentially, don't apologize for my face. No, it's the lighting. My face is blown out because the light is too bright and white and right. Okay, that's the daylight. There's not a lot I can do about that. There's no curtains in here. Yeah. Maybe we'll just turn this one off. Ooh. That's worse. Yeah, no, that's worse. There we go. Let the camera adjust. Probably don't need the candle up there while I am moving the lamp around. That's not a good idea. Fucking spooky ass music. All right. Can you see me now? No, you still can't. Fucking. Used to know shit about camera and lighting settings, and then a decade happened. And yes! Oh my goodness, the same thing with audio. No, I feel like this is better. Maybe. I got the candle down here. Does that help? Maybe we put it on the other side. If you are interested in that kind of shit at all, I'll fiddle with it for a minute, because goddamn if I couldn't fiddle with some lighting all the time. And audio, oh my god. I have my degree's in audio tech, so the fact that I'm sitting here talking to a mini computer microphone right now kind of makes me die inside a little. So. Yeah, no, it's both. Camera's probably dirty as well. Because it's a, if you'll forgive the term, shitty little laptop. Yeah. And I would say donate to the Patreon, but no one does that because we're not up to that point yet. And girl, I was talking about that last week, I think. Like, this channel, what the fuck is up with this channel? I'm doing this for 2 years. I got 700 and whatever. Meanwhile, there's annoying ass people out there making, bank off of this shit. I do not understand how this world works. I don't get it. Thank you for clarifying, by the way, which thing it is that you feel. I lit one. It's a 3-wick candle. I lit one and another one went out. Oh my God. Shoot me. Light, bitch. Please. Substance doesn't pay. Only pointless pretty seems to matter. Yeah. And then there's Mr. Beast. What the fuck is that? And then there's this guy. I was talking about this guy last week, and I think it was actually a friend of mine who said something about me being jealous of him. And like, I'm not jealous or envious. I am confused because he's not shallow. He essentially analyzes news stories related to one or two specific topics like several times every day. And he is not a good looking person and has an annoying voice. So how the fuck exactly did he just get 800,000 subs? What? And I'm not angry about it. Let him have them. I don't care. Good for him. That should mean that somebody like me, hypothetically, should do decently. Right? That's all I want. I'm not saying he can't have success. Have it. Good for you. There's plenty for all, I thought I do. Like, the male confidence in history to support it. I guess. I mean, at this point, I'm going to be 40 in October. I really got nothing left to lose in a lot of ways, okay? I've tried basically everything. I'm not going to say everything, if you know what I'm saying. There are certain things that I will never try to earn money because I won't live through it. I can't do those things. But talking to a camera, come on. Look at me. I can't really dance. I'm a little chubby. That's about all I got. I can read stuff. Like, man, you should see my cold read. I have a really solid cold read. Okay, like, I can sit and read a script. Like, I took an acting class in high school. Most funniest class I ever took in my life. Also, like, what the literal fuck is with Matt Walsh? I don't name drop. No, maybe I do. But, like, he just steals info from others and does basically no reason. That's what they all do. And that's the thing about it. Like I said, no hate on this guy. Bo of the Fifth Column is who I'm talking about. Because no hate on him. I will just say his name. Personally, he kind of grinds my gears. But not because of what he does or who he is. It's just, he's not an attractive fellow with a whiny voice. That's literally it. That's all I can say about him, because he provides solid analysis on various international news topics. Great, good. I'm glad that that's popular. I'm not saying I don't want him, or I'm not mad about him. Respect. I don't watch most of his videos because I don't dig his stuff. It's like, but no shade, no hate at all. The opposite of that, respect. Okay. So why? I don't think I have an annoying voice. Maybe a little. I'm from Indiana. I can't help the drawl. And but like Neil Young has a singing career. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am at least as attractive and articulate as some very famous people. Like, other people claim are entertaining, and I'm like, when? Did I miss something? Were they in a movie that you loved when you were a kid? Is that what it is? Like, I've been told I'm funny. I'm not sure when that happens. If that happens, please let me know, because I'd like to try and bottle that. Because funny sells. I make myself laugh sometimes. I know that much. I've done this. You ever just make yourself giggle hysterically over a thought you had or something you noticed or whatever, a connection you do or something, and the other people around you are like they're just kind of standing there waiting for you to stop laughing. Those hoops are smaller than the average man's. What? Right. There's still an inequality, if you will, with it all. You can be a successful woman on YouTube, but there are more hoops to jump through. Those hoops are smaller. Right. See, I don't even need to be successful on YouTube. I don't care. I don't care about no 800,000. I don't need 1 million subscribers. I just need a few thousand. Maybe 10 would be nice, something like that. Just a smaller average size channel. Really, I just need to make a little bit of money off of what I do. That's it. And I'm writing a book, as I babbled about last week and the week before, and we'll babble about for the rest of ever. So eventually selling some of those would be nice. Make a little money from that. I've been working on that for almost a year. Hallelujah. I guess by successful, I just mean noticed, but yeah, I could have used better language. No. I don't mean to criticize your language. I'm just clarifying what my goals are for myself and anyone who cares to listen. I'm just clarifying. Can I just call you Lest? I'm Sarah, by the way. And here's for having a common name. Here's to that, right? Because I can just literally tell people, yeah, I'm Sarah. Good luck Googling that and finding anything from it. Well, are you serious? Is that Mara or Mara? Mara. Your name is Mara? First of all, I love the spelling because that is literally my name, but with an M. With the H. Fuck yeah. Not a 4-letter word. No way, bitch. Mm-hmm. Sister. Hell yeah. And secondly, my my husband's first wife's name was Mara with no H. And he still, every once in a great while, will call me by her name when he's talking about stuff that happened in the past. Not in any inappropriate times. That's never happened. But like just in conversation when he gets, a little ahead of himself. He'll be talking about something we did or something, and he'll say her name instead of mine. Still. Every once in a while. And I feel bad for him because Mara and Sarah, I'm not going to say my ex's name, who I've mentioned now 3 times in this live stream so far. Ugh, am I coming up on an anniversary or something? Why? I'm not going to say his name, but my husband's name is Jack. And let's just say my ex's name was completely and utterly different than that. Completely and utterly. More syllables, all different letters. Yeah, all different letters. And just completely and utterly different. Tamara. See, and that could be Tamara or Tamara. I knew a girl when I was younger whose name was Tamara. Yeah. So it's like Andrea and Andrea. Unfortunate ladies there, no. My name is not my favorite on earth. I don't know what my favorite name on earth would be. That's a weird question, I suppose. I have named 2 children, so I can't even pick one like that. But I do enjoy that it is easy to spell and pronounce, no matter where you're from. People know my name when they see it. Yeah. Different pronunciation in different countries, yeah. I really don't have that. I don't really have people I've never... I used to live in Cleveland, Ohio, which is a very ethnically diverse city. And, you know, especially if you were a receptionist or whatever, you have to pronounce other people's names a lot. And my last name had a TH and an SH in it. So that was hopeless. But my first name is part of an international lexicon, I think. Everyone knows it. Everyone has seen it somewhere because she was the wife of fucking Abraham who founded, wait, what was it? Judaism, right? So people have heard it. It's great. Thanks, Ma. You did a good job. Right there at the beginning, anyway. We're not going to sit here and hate on mothers, though, because we're supposed to be talking about the worth of women's domestic work, of which there is much. Melissa had actually approached it from the perspective of conservative men being hypocrites, because on the one hand, they will say, oh, no, you should stay at home and have children and raise the children and keep the home and all that shit. Yes, let's do it. Woo. Because, you know, there's worth in that, right? There's great worth in that. You have to do that. And if you don't, you're failing as a woman. You know, they either say this or at least imply it, right? You're failing as a woman if you don't raise children and keep a home and keep your husband happy. Which is really what's at the bottom line of all of that, right? And then by the same token, if you don't keep your husband happy or for whatever reason y'all end up getting divorced, apparently, you know, conservative men will bitch that when they get divorced, women want to take half the assets. They expect us to be born with such skills and then hate on us for having them. Well, you know, and this is an unpopular view of mine, but like, why would we be the only creature on Earth who is immune to the effects of like breeding, if you'll forgive the term? I mean, I'm not a eugenicist by any stretch, but if certain traits are selected for over long periods of time, then certain traits are going to be more common in a population. Like, that's just how that fucking works. Especially a captive population. All right? So, you know, the idea that women might be better at certain things, just as a group, just makes fucking sense to me. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. Please, for the love of God, give me a reason that this is wrong. Because they really don't, you know, it's not the most free willy argument, is it? Motherhood gets a lot of lip service. But in a capitalist system that only financially rewards men, we're fucked. Right. They don't want to give you the money. They don't want to pay you for it. And then sure as shit, do not want to give you the house if y'all get divorced. Right? They want you to do all this stuff, and they sure as shit don't want to pay you for it. But, ooh, capitalism and the free market. Ooh, okay, motherfucker. Wash and put away your own socks. Good luck finding them. Find me a man that's not true about. I'm not a complete expert or anything, but I've known a few. I've lived with a few. Not even necessarily like that. I've had roommates. I have a dad, you know. Find me a man doesn't kick his socks off in random fucking places. And then leave them there. Like, but yeah. As for the selective breeding thing, please tell me. Find a way I'm wrong about that, please. I'm serious. I really, really want to be wrong about that. Because it doesn't, you know, it's not the kindest idea, I don't think. To us as individuals. You cured your ex of the sock problem. How? These men expect and rely on this version of female labor and then shit on women for doing it. I swear. You want me to wash your socks? Then don't think I'm lower for doing it. Right. That's right. They get all petulant and whiny if you slip in your job, you know. But, yeah, then when you do it, they act like it's not happening. Or, yeah, that you're like a servant or something. Or that it's just not happening. That's my favorite, I think. You know, it's like a clean bathroom. cleaning a bathroom. No one notices until you stop doing it. I think this is the third time I've had to relight the same cigarette. If I can become a bad smoker, maybe eventually I'll just become a non-smoker. A goal, right? It's a goal. I really want to get this other wick lit. It's annoying me so badly. Look at this bitch. We got one wick out. Can you see that? No, not really. Take my word for it, though. We do. We got one wick out, and it's annoying the snot out of me. And I don't have any matches or anything to reach down in there. It's a day. It's a day. Supposedly, not that you would know it from looking out the window. Gray is not out there today. Is that a thing? I made that up. Gray is, I don't know. It's like twilight out there today. And I kind of hate it. Heard an amazing story of a woman who stopped doing the housework because her husband suggested it should take her just 15 minutes or something. She only stopped cleaning up after him. He still didn't get all the mess he was making. Nice. Yeah. No, yeah, I was just cleaning up the kitchen counter again yesterday after he left some stuff because he works from home a lot. So he'll come, through the kitchen and make himself lunch and then trot on back to work. And I love you, honey. He's probably watching this back later. And I picked up the counter again for the second time that day. The first time fair was me because I had made breakfast, but the second time had been him making lunch, and I'm not the one who yells at people for leaving stuff out on the counter. So no one's going to bite on the selective breeding thing. Please, come on. This is an idea that's been bugging me for a while. And I really, really, really want to be wrong. But like when you have a captive population and certain traits are selected for over a long period of time, how exactly are those traits not going to end up showing up more in the descendants of that population? How exactly does that not happen? Okay, so I don't disagree with you on the breeding thing. I wish I could, but it makes sense. Right? And the thing about it is, we're more genetically diverse than they are. By a good bit. Okay, so that's why there's still so many different kinds of women. So many different personality traits and so many different possible combinations of personality traits and whatever. Epigenetics is a thing. Right. Also that. And it's really been interesting to me. All right. Let me tell you just a little short story. I'm going to try and make a long story short. As a young person, as a young woman, I was not very womanly. I was pretty masculine, you would call it, I guess. Jeans, and when I say tank tops, I don't mean little tank tops. I mean sometimes, but only because it was hot. You know what I'm saying? Short hair, no makeup, tennis shoes, and then I ended up going to tech school for audio tech. Okay, I was not a girly girl at all. And I did sound and theater. Sometimes I wonder, as a woman with large breasts, did males breed me to be like this? It's beyond impractical. That hadn't occurred to me because I do not. I am not so endowed, but my mother's entire family, my sister, my aunt, my grandmother, were all so endowed. So I've pondered other things along those lines. And you know what? Yeah, maybe. They've bred themselves to have longer dicks. They sure as shit didn't do that for us. They sure as shit did not do that for us. They have selectively bred themselves to have longer penises. That's a fact, right? We all know this now, right? That came out a few years ago, didn't it? The average penis size has just gotten longer over time. I have no idea how the fuck they figured that out. Why do we know this? Of all the stupid shit, of all the patterns to follow across history, it would be that one. But no, it's not a man's world, right? God, no. What the fuck? Thank you, Les. Oh my god. That just So yeah, no, we're more genetically diverse than they are because we have two X's, which are each, different from one another. Because you got one from your mother and one from your father. So there's more crosstalk there. There's more to crosstalk there than your little Y chromosome, which literally apparently does nothing but make you male. And another fun factoid I found out, I think I mentioned this last week or the week before, and I need to fact check this because it's been a while since I read it, but apparently there's only one Y chromosome on the entire fucking planet, which boggles the mind. There's 4 million, they're not all the same. Because the X chromosome that they have is from, their mother, who is a woman, and genetically diverse and all that. And she could have given him either one of her two X's. But theoretically, according to what I had read, the Y that they got from their father is the same Y that every other man on Earth has. Which is why that, they're all different people, except for the part where they're male. That part's the same. You heard that too. If that's true, you're terrified. So you see, that's why they can walk in lockstep sometimes. In ways that we just cannot. In my opinion, that explains that weird phenomenon where sometimes they'll just all at the same time in exactly the same way, and we're all like, what the fuck just happened? What are they doing? Oh my god. We can't do that. We can't do that. Yeah, we're more different than they are. But at the same time, we have, over the long term, been captively bred to have these certain traits, both physical and mental, okay? And that's what I was going to get to in a minute. When I was younger, I was pretty butch. I was pretty masculine. I'm not athletic, but I tried, okay? I was on a softball team and was terrible at it. I was on stage crew in high school, okay? I'm that chick. And then when I was in my mid-20s, I accidentally got pregnant and was not, I don't know, I always kind of wanted kids. I guess. I didn't not want kids. And I'm too damn sentimental to have my first act as a mother be to kill my child. So could not do that. So I had a kid at 24. Think of the word husband. And think of the term animal husbandry and get ready to vomit. Oh yeah. No, I've been there. I wasn't going to go there, but yeah. Yeah. You hadn't noticed, I'm fairly good at feeling out some of the darker corners of some of these thought trains. Does that make any sense? My mind grapes are swole, okay? That's a 30 Rock reference for anyone who isn't quite as old as I am. Yeah. So that's why I think we have the illusion that women are all the same, in the same way that men are kind of all the same. And then you live with one for a while and you're like, no, you live with two in succession. You live with one for a while, and then you don't live with that guy for whatever reason, your dad, your cousin, your roommate, your ex, whatever. And you live with another one for a while, and you're like, after a while, you start to notice they do some of the same weird shit. And you're just like, what the fuck? Women just don't, it's a different sort of sameness. Yeah, so I had a kid in my mid-20s. To continue with my story, thank you. I am distractible. Yeah. And I noticed, because I've said this before, babies are so easy. They need 4 things. They're hungry, they need a change, they're hot or they're cold, or they're tired or uncomfortable or something. It's really very easy. You fix one of those 4 or 5 things. It's a list. You go down the list. One of them will fix the baby, and baby will go back to sleep. That's it. Infants are so easy. They cannot move. You can't lose them. They're not going to wander off. They can't talk back. Their needs are simple. And their wants are few. So you go down the list. I literally made this up because desperation. Okay. I'll put it in a book someday probably, because it was the most helpful thing that I've ever stumbled across. And I just had to do, every decision in life should be so easy. Shall I take care of the child that I brought into the world because I could not kill it, or shall I not? Which is the right choice? I just go, duh. You had to take care of it. Him. I had to take care of him, obviously. So I did. And I got my ass out of bed every day, and I hated it every day. But it wasn't his fault. And he learned to walk and shit, so I took him out to playgrounds and libraries and book readings and blah, 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 and all the kiddie stuff, and eventually I noticed myself thinking and doing things that what the fuck was that? Mom shit I just thought and did. Okay, until by eventually, like 5, 6, 7 years later, I found myself really having grown into all of this. I mean, these details of, being actually in a home. And the reason that you keep the fucking home is kind of for the family, for the kids. Okay? Because as a non-parent, you do whatever the fuck you want. But as a parent, you're down in this grind of like this natural rhythm that is beyond you. Okay? Because they grow the fuck up, don't they? They're not going to be an annoying 18-month-old forever. They're going to be an annoying 18-month-old for 5 fucking minutes. And they're going to be an annoying, kindergartner. And then they're going to be an annoying 12-year-old. And like, get the fuck over yourself. You're annoying too. I've heard people feel so sorry for single dads because they had to do XYZ. But that shit that basically every mother does without any credit. Dad gives daughter ponytail equals hero, right? Oh my God. My husband's hair is on his shoulder, between his shoulder blades. And he gave himself a ponytail before he left the house. So, yeah. He also cooks a lot, so I got a special one there. He has to be. He's married to me. Oh, this stupid wick is still out. I swear to God, I'm going to light up one of these goddamn, like, paintbrushes and just do it that way. I don't know. I'm going to light myself on fire. Light, bitch. Light, bitch. Yeah, I did it. I did it. Yay. All right. Oh my God, the dad-daughter hair videos are awful. Oh. No, thankfully, his daughter, our daughter, who from his first marriage to the Mara, Taylor Swift's The Man video has a whole bit about that. It's hilarious. Right on, a lot of her stuff is pretty funny. There's something about her that kind of rubs me the wrong way, and it's hard to put my finger on. Aside from this, I'm a musical snob, and her songs are overproduced. But so is everything these days. Like, everything. One of the worst things I've ever heard in my life was when we first moved down here. I was working in a factory. Yes. And they would have the radio on the floor all day. And some days it would be the classic rock station, which is fine. I grew up with that shit. I could listen to Zeppelin and, The Who and shit all day. But, like, then other days they would put on this modern country station, which is what I've ever heard. Some of the worst shit I've ever heard. Because it was all these dudes singing about their dirty truck and their homespun woman and, how they were just the salt of the earth and reliving the real life and whatever. And it was slick and overproduced and auto-tuned within an inch of its life. And I'm like, this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, this is what I have a degree in. So I knew exactly what I was hearing. And apparently no one else did. And I did not bother trying to point it out to anyone because I'm aware that most people cannot hear auto-tune, I guess. I know how to use it. Like, I've been trying to use the Pro Tools and the stuff. So, I hear it every time, I think. It's everywhere. I don't know that I hear it every time. I'm not going to insult modern producers by saying I hear it every time. Or modern engineers. I'm not going to say that. But a lot. I do. I hear it a lot. Even in places where most people don't. I'm like, oh my God, why? Why would you take someone with a nice voice and do that to them? If I ever end up engineering anything for anyone, I promise I won't do that to you. Oh no, I got that. Kiss from an Angel is the perfect example of overplaying. Again, I'm a 40-year-old mother of 4. Is that a Taylor Swift song? No, but so what I was saying was you find yourself naturally falling into this shit. No, it's not? Okay. Regardless, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, and I'm not going to Google it. I'm not going to leave the screen right now. It's fine. I'm sorry. But so like what they call the emotional labor of, parenting and whatnot, you find yourself naturally sort of falling into these things. Like keeping the schedule, the doctor's appointments, especially when they're little. They have to go and get their shots and checkups and whatever fairly often. It's from a band called Hinda. It was an okay song, was played basically every 15 minutes on a radio for a while, and it ruined the band, the whole band, like everything they ever did. Damn, that's overplaying. Wow, they were a one-hit wonder, I guess. Wow, that's bad. That's very bad. I wonder if I put this over there, then it will block some of that light. Maybe then you'll be able to see my face instead of just my eyeballs floating in like white cheeks. But so yeah, as far as I found myself falling into these behaviors and these patterns of thought that I had the spirit of ever learning how to do. Okay. And it was still a learning process. It still is a learning process, and you have to kind of feel your way through. Yeah, maybe that is better. You have to kind of, I just didn't want you to look at that part of the mess. It's still, you have to kind of feel your way through. And, at this point, my oldest is 15, so I've had a little bit of extra time to feel my way through, and I still forget shit all the time. Looks like the light is reflecting from under me. Does the desk have white? No. The desk is wood. Light's coming in out the window. But we learn our worth early. Boys make as much mowing a lawn in 20 minutes as a girl does babysitting for hours. Well, mowing a lawn will take you an hour. I know, because I mowed my mother's lawn for years because I'm that girl. Like I said. But, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're, I don't know. I babysat too. But again, this was probably over 20 years ago, so I grew up in the burbs, tiny plots. Yeah. Lawn has more value than the kids. Well, you see, what you should do is babysit on a night when they're going out to dinner and, negotiate a blanket, like a flat rate. Like, don't do it hourly. Be like, okay. Now, again, we're talking 20 plus years ago, going on 25 years ago, but I'm talking $100 for the night. So they're gone for, they're gone for 3.5 hours. I got $100. And they're happy with that because then they're not looking at their watches. And it's still better than, whatever $10 an hour would have been or whatever. Yeah. Well, they had 3 kids. So, yeah. And I lived right across the street. So, there are certain perks and they knew me and da-da-da. And I was 15 or something. So I was nice and old enough, Yeah. So, yeah, for 3 kids for their dinner night, fuck yeah, they were happy to pay me. Girl, nah. Okay, and I don't know if this is, again, I was really masculine growing up. I watched my father, who was an attorney, and my stepfather, who was an accountant. And my mother, who taught herself to code from books. Okay. I've been known to say that my mother is the strongest masculine influence in my life. I come by this shit honestly. It was not a form of rebellion for me. It was literally just how I was raised. This is 83. Ooh, okay. So you're a bit older than me. I was born in 83. Sorry. 50 a week in 83. Was that good? In 83? So I don't know. Because in 2000, that would have been kind of that would have been shit. It was meh. Yeah, no, $100 for 3.5 hours in like 2000 was pretty good. I was pretty happy with myself. $10 alone. Okay, so you were referring to something specific. Okay, right on. The 80s were fucking rough, I guess. Again, I was born then, so obviously. Yeah, he got $10 a lawn and probably rushed through them and did a shitty job, right? You can't rush through babysitting and pack in more of them, can you? It doesn't work that way. So 50 a week. I still don't think 50 a week gets anywhere close to 100 an hour US. Now, but not sure. Do I know him? No, but I know males. Did you miss earlier where we were talking about how there's only one Y chromosome on the entire planet? Yeah, so we're more genetically diverse than they are. By a good margin, apparently. I am not a geneticist, and I'm not an expert. Please fact check me. And if I'm wrong, let me know. I'd be very interested to learn that, but yeah, I only read this shit from, reputable scientific sources and stuff when I do read anything about stuff like this, so I swear I'm not regurgitating talking points from some right-wing pundit or something, because I don't watch those motherfuckers. They annoy the shit out of me. Or a left-wing pundit, for that matter. I've stopped watching all them as well. Which is one of the reasons the channel's suffering, y'all. I cannot do that shit anymore. I cannot bitch at Sam Cedar anymore or whatever. I can't do it. They make me so angry. They make me more angry than the conservative guys, because you know a conservative guy is going to be an asshole? Which was actually the topic of Melissa's comment. Jordan Peterson once said something about society lying to women by, number one, telling them that their value is in having a career and earning money. Number two, telling them that motherhood and homekeeping have low value. And three, children are a burden. Yay for being politically homeless. Yeah. Assholes to the left and assholes to the right. And here I am, stuck in the middle with some lovely company, actually. Thank you for being here. I wanted to slap his head and tell him that isn't a lie. Society is telling the absolute truth about what it values and what gives women worth. Then conservative men gush about how women should stay at home and have babies. It's all very honorable. But they don't think women contribute to the household economy by their unpaid work. Finally, I saw a young man explaining to the evil feminists about how men only like modest, deferential women. And I thought, oh, how absolutely heartbreaking that a man actually wants to be deferred to. How sad is that? I think maybe I'm reading that sarcasm wrong or something, because I'm not quite sure what she means by that, but I think we all get her point. And it's funny because I've been saying this for years now. The conservatives are the only ones talking about a lot of the stuff that mothers face on a day-to-day basis. Which, again, not all women. I love the Wanda Sykes joke. I'm not on the right wing. I'm not on the left wing. I'm in the plane cabin like a sane person. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I keep having to relight them. Yeah, and then Melissa calls herself lazy because she doesn't have a channel of her own. And I told her that it comes across as far from lazy to write such an eloquent and thorough comment and topic suggestion. And I kind of turned it around in the title because I don't want to make this all about the men's, right? What is the value of women's domestic labor? It's tons. Tons. And I hear that whether you have children or not, a lot of times you end up doing a lot of the cleaning and the laundry and stuff like that. And as I was saying, I think not all that's enforced. A lot of it's not. And I think that's what I was getting at, is that I find myself doing these things, keeping schedules. I have a calendar notebook because I can't keep all that shit in here. Our oldest is out of the house now. She's 20, for God's sake. But we have 4 kids. Like, I can't keep all that in my head. Who can do that? I'm decently smart. I'm not a genius like that. I'm not Rain Man over here. So, but yeah, I learned how to be fairly assertive. I have not always enacted it well because I'm not a naturally assertive person. I'm not a naturally confrontational person unless I am furious. In which case, I will come up to you and very sharply, explicitly state why I'm furious. And if I'm really, really mad, I will raise my voice at you. And that's about it. So, yeah, I might, every once in a while, I'll call my husband a name because he pushes my buttons more than anyone because he's my husband and that's part of his job. Right? That's part of the job description. Men created personal aides because they can't keep it all in their heads. Even they can't keep, right? Well, I don't know if I think men created calendars. Like, months are fake, right? Hours are fake. Seasons are real. Years are real. Days are real, right? I've been drifting a little bit from the materialism lately, but I do really value the distinction between something like months and something like days. Right. Calendars are fake. Clocks are fake. But days are real. The sun really comes up and then goes the fuck down again and, all that. Like, no. Created. Right. Right. Like, they're real, but not. See, and I don't know, do we need another word for really, really real? Like days and years. The earth revolves around the sun. It does. And you can count them if you want. It's kind of useful, right? Because especially since every go round, we have vaguely the same kind of 4 seasons. Reality, right. But so there's reality and then there's augmented reality, right? Like months and hours. And I'm using time as an example because I think it's a really clear and easy one. Where we have your actual natural organic demarcations of time. And then you have the measurements that human beings have created and come up with. And like the way we count years by months is kind of dumb because we end up with an extra day every 4 years because we had to separate the days into certain numbers of hours, I think is what it was, right? And right, so that ends up being awkward because one of those is real and the other one isn't. Like really, really real. Real with a capital R. Real. They're great. There's a reason why time is generally thought of to be a male deity. Yeah. Whereas nature with the seasons and the whatnot is female. Right. But again, which one of those is true? Which one of those would continue to exist if you stop fucking measuring it? And going back to there really being only one kind of man on earth, that's not true. That's glib of me, and I don't want to say that. Their maleness is all the same. I've spent too much time thinking about this, I guess, because I have a husband, and I have 2 sons, and I have a dad, and I don't have any brothers. Thank goodness. And I have 2 sisters. But yeah, I have exes and male friends, and hey, you know that guy. Hey, buddy. Did you see or hear of the movie Men? It came out last year and it kind of represents what you're saying. No, I did not. That sounds like a horror movie title. Is it a horror movie? About masculine zombies or something? Because, The Birds is about birds attacking people. Yeah. I had a feeling. Is it Hitchcockian? Hitchcockian? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. So yeah. No, but so they're all different because, obviously their personality comes from the X chromosome, right? They get their personality from their mother. I've heard that. I would say not really, but that's just me. Wait. I'm sorry, not really what? I forget which thing I said. It's not Hitchcockian. Okay. It's probably it, right? Right on. I'm on horror movies. Some of them I love. Some of them most of them I'm could take or leave. Some of them I really kind of loathe, so, it's very, very catch as catch can over there for me. Yeah, but so they get, a lot of stuff. Like, for example, for some reason, male pattern baldness goes through the mother. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that only males get that they get from their mother, right? Hemophilia, famously. So all but one male character in the film are played by the same man. It's weird, but fits so well. Nice. Right, no, and obviously all men don't look alike, aside from being male and human, right? But no, it's if there's only one Y chromosome on Earth, and all the Y chromosome does is make you male, though, right? Everything else is from the X. So it's just the male stuff, and the stuff that's connected to maleness, being a male person. Commentary on the Y, yeah. And if that's, I wish I could remember where I read that, because I'll be darned if it hasn't stuck with me. Pardon me. So all men are not the same, but their maleness is all the same. And all the weird little quirks they have associated with it. And that's why I believe that is why sometimes they do that thing where they turn lockstep like a flock of birds. What? And you as a woman are left standing there going, what the fuck just happened? What are y'all doing? What is going on? Yeah. Which sounds kind of like mob mentality, doesn't it? There's never been something I really understood. Wonder if there's a connection there at all. Men are not stupid, obviously. No one's going to convince me of that. No. Y'all don't get to circumnavigate the globe by the fucking stars and then tell me you're stupid. Mob pack, maybe it's the same thing, right? But so, I don't know if, for example, with the wolves, I do not know if there's only one male gene for wolves. Okay. When you say pack, it kind of invokes sort of an animal metaphor or a comparison to, other species. And I am not certain. In fact, I would venture to say not. There's probably more than that. Wild animals are probably more genetically diverse than the human male in that way. I don't know that at all. That is not a fact that I'm quoting from anywhere. That's a guess. But they're wild animals, aren't they? They tend to, I don't know, be more genetically diverse than, say, domesticated animals, which are what we do, which is what we are. We've domesticated ourselves, right? I think I'm probably right. Hallelujah. Thank you. I'm just spitballing here. Yeah, that's because it's spitballing here. Just playing with ideas here. If this, then what about that, right? Women are very similar in other ways, in a different sort of way. It's a lot harder to get women to move in lockstep, isn't it? We tend to not do that. It tends to be more like herding cats, if you will, for lack of a better metaphor. We're more genetically diverse than they are, and then we don't have the Y chromosome. We have 2 X's, and the X has just got everything else on it that isn't maleness. So we have 2 of those. So, try and do the math there. That's a lot, right? One of the reasons women live longer, too. It's also one of the reasons we have more autoimmune disorders, because we can have duplications of certain things, which have a name, and I forget what they are because I'm not a geneticist. I'm just a nerd who reads a lot. Yeah, so I don't know. I put some of this together a while back, and it just kind of all fell into place and solved like a lot of these weird little mysteries for me. But yeah, at the same time, women have been a captive population for a very long time that was bred for certain traits, pro-social traits, detail-oriented traits, stuff like that, And I really did not want to believe any of this shit. I didn't until I was 30 and found myself worrying about what I was going to make for dinner. Unprompted, and realized I'd been doing it for a long time. Okay, like I was never really into the hard drugs, but damn, I was like a studio gopher. I don't know. I was techie. I was not fucking maternal, okay? Not the kind of girl who would come over to your house and clean up after you. Nah. I was, I guess, for lack of a better term, closer to the cool girl before that was a thing. I never made any pretense about liking beer, but I was definitely chowing on the pizza. All that kind of shit. Football is fucking stupid, but I would probably, tell you that on my way out the door with a laugh. Like, that's fucking stupid. I'll see you later, That was me. Who was it that said, I'm paraphrasing here, women make new women, men clone themselves? I have no idea. But yes, that's essentially what I'm saying. Except that they don't clone themselves. They have to get that X from somewhere. And that's all the rest of it. Right? That's all the rest of it. They get so much from us. Don't they? In the idea that we have been made to believe anything other than that is horrendous and wrong. It needs to be fixed and rectified, and by which I do not mean revenge on the men. No. You don't fix stuff like that by becoming what you hate. No. And I was saying in the videos over the week with the chapter readings, which I encourage you to go and watch. Please let me know what you think of the book. Anyone? That I just don't think we're going to tear down patriarchy with frontal assault. That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they would expect. God damn if we have to stop acting like them if we're going to outsmart them, which is what we have to do. We can't destroy the men. What the fuck kind of a stupid goal? I'm sorry. And you know what? If you don't like them, this is for anyone. If you don't like them, stay away from them. Fine. I wish there was an entire women-only island out there somewhere. Completely free of masculine influence of any kind, where women who, want such a thing could go. I found it myself if I had that kind of money. But I don't. So, bummer. I'm stuck budgeting the groceries. And then there are those of us who have found ourselves ended up, not there at all. Married with sons. So, what was I supposed to do? Abort them? Like, come on. No. So this is a place where I can share this. My friend who has a young son, a joke about him being violent now and in the future, and it broke my heart because she was just kind of laughing in terror. All right. Now we get to talk about propensities, genetic propensities versus actually, having this stuff be triggered and play out in your life, which is actually the same thing I was getting at. These certain traits that women have been bred for all this time are things that I have found emerging in myself despite my mother not nurturing them. Okay, and her mother did not teach her this shit. My mother could not teach me what she did not know. All this domestic goddess shit. All right, my mother started wearing makeup in her 50s. Okay, really. She's a programmer. All right, and she's also kind of an ice queen in a way. So, you know, I don't think she had any of this stuff triggered in her when I was growing up. I did not see any of this in her, but I did from somewhere. And I've read, you know, about epigenetics. You mentioned that earlier. And it's certain experiences, a certain can trigger things in your mind that you didn't know were there. It's that simple. What up, Ella? Happy Saturday. Only an hour and a half late. Well, we're still rocking the house. Welcome to the party. Yeah, on that note, you'll like this. We were talking about how there's only one Y chromosome on Earth. And it kind of explains a lot of the weird shit that all men seem to do. Weird shit that it's like they got together at some secret cabal, and like, really, we're the ones who get accused of having secret meetings. We're not the ones who have the same bullshit domestic habits, like little shit. The one I mentioned was leaving socks random places. But really, it's kind of leaving everything random places. Help me out, y'all. I can't even think about it. I can't even think of them now because I've literally lived with some dude most of my life. Some dude or another. Most of my life. But they do. I swear to God, they stack dishes the same way. I swear to God. It's stuff like that. All men. Yes, all men. Stack dishes the same stupid way. I swear to God. Yes, all men leave their socks in random fucking places. You know, yes, all men will clean up all the shit from around the grill. The tin foil, they'll wipe it off from the outside, they'll do all the blah, 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 and leave the utensils on the table. Yes, all men. See, I don't know that it's because it's degenerated. I read about this. There are animals out there that don't have one at all, where their Y chromosome has become not a thing anymore. It's, you know, been obliterated by the passage of time because it can't regenerate itself. It doesn't reshuffle itself the way the X does because it doesn't have enough pieces. It's just the one thing. It's just maleness. That's all it is. I always say, prove me wrong about all the men, about the all men thing, and no one ever has. No, because they all. That's what I'm saying. If there's only one Y chromosome on Earth, and that explains all that weird shit. And how sometimes, like I was saying, like a flock of birds, they're just all woof, at the same time. Spooky shit like that, right? It explains all that. Because on the male level, they're the same man. They're not the same person, but they're all the same man. It's weird. Right? You wish you were wrong, right? Right? I do. I wish I was wrong about this. I did not want to believe. Especially, and Ella, the other aspect of this is that women for so long were a captive group. Shit. Community population. A captive population, right? Who have been selectively bred over a long period of time for certain traits. That's us, right? Like, tell me that's not how that works. Tell me that their descendants wouldn't then have a lot of these traits, right? I mean, yeah, which is how all women are the same, except we're not. We're a lot more genetically diverse than they are. And as far as the Y chromosome deteriorating, it doesn't mean we won't have any men anymore. It just means that one thing that makes maleness will hop to the X chromosome. And some X chromosomes will have maleness on them. Eventually. So, you know, that's some panic about nothing. Just like I want to say that sperm count thing is, but number one, I'm not talking about sperm right now. Fuck that. It's Saturday. And they're all out of the house. Number two, I do. I think that's got to be like some fear-mongering bullshit because, oh, right, yeah, because the human species is about to go extinct because men have no sperm. Yeah, right. It would be DEFCON motherfucking 5 or whatever, or 1, or whichever one is the last one. They'd be ready to go to war over that shit. had a dude literally tell me the other day that women can't be oppressed because as a man, he as a man hasn't named it as oppression. He proved me right and didn't even. Yeah. Yeah, they do that, don't they? I hate that thing they do where they don't understand something, so it either doesn't matter or is not legitimate at all. No, I don't get it. That's interesting and irrelevant. Bye. What? So you don't. So what? You don't understand? Yeah. No. And you know you do. Sometimes I forget that I'm talking to one of those, to a person like that, and I will continue to attempt to explain myself. And sometimes I think they belligerently don't get it, but it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't really matter why they do it. We all know they do, and they all do it. Man thinks he is important. So if he doesn't know, it mustn't be important. And the cycle continues. Right. Some of them are intelligent enough to have enough insight to get beyond that. Some of them are. Not necessarily all the time, and everyone has bad days, but yeah, no, there's hope. There is. There has to be. Because what are we going to do? Live off of sperm banks for the rest of eternity? You're spelling. Sorry for my reading. It's fine. We all have, bad days, right? No, but we all make mistakes. It's okay. Gosh, my throat's dry. So I have another cigarette, right? But so despite being more genetically diverse by a good bit, a lot of women do have a lot of these same traits, right? And I think a lot of other women, like myself, when I was younger, before any of this stuff was triggered by having kids and finding myself in a domestic setting and tasked with this shit. Like, if I'd never found myself here, I do not think that I would ever have had any interest in wondering what the fuck was for dinner for anybody but me. Okay? At, 10 o'clock at night, after I finished doing blah, 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 whatever. I was that person. I was take out at 10 p.m. for dinner person, okay? Until I was like almost 30. Because I found myself with a small kid who needed his fucking dinner because he had to go the fuck to bed because he's 3. Like I say, I wish every decision in life was that easy. Let's see. Do I take care of this kid I created or do I not? Gee, I don't know. Duh. And just the repetition of it. The continual repetition of it. I swear to God, I don't think I slept past 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. I still rarely sleep past 9. I might have today by a little bit. Might have been 9:30 when I got up today. That was not me. I am not a morning person. This is not natural for me. But it's just been the repetition for 15 years at this point. You don't get a weekend off. Like, as a mom, you don't get fucking days off. It doesn't happen. You don't just get to not be mom for a day. That's what people don't get. But also consider the consequences of not taking care of the kid. Right. And I hate to be like, well, you should take responsibility for your actions. But I mean, yeah. I am not against abortions. If you want one, get one. If that is your thing, if you need one to save your life, to save either your physical life or your mental life and emotional life, and to just continue doing what the fuck you were carefully building in your life, I support you. I could not do that. So I didn't. And so I had a baby. And then I had to take the fuck care of the baby. It just one thing followed after another. And it was like stepping stones. And I followed them. And I eventually found myself not a domestic goddess by any means. But these traits emerging, these thoughts emerging, these patterns of behavior emerging that I would never, ever, ever have hoped to have learned to learn. I would never have said, yeah, I'm going to mate socks and be happy about it. It's not like a plant where you can let it die and at worst you feel a little shitty for a bit, or a baby. A baby's nowhere near a plant. Right. One is a crime. Well, and I guess a dog is kind of somewhere in the middle, right? Because abusing a dog is a crime. What's up? Mary's here, finally. How you doing, Mary? We're talking about chromosomes and plants. No, there's only one Y chromosome on Earth, and I think that explains some of the weird shit that all men do. All of them do weird, stupid, just little shit that you only notice after you've known them for like kind of a long time, maybe. And you'll get to be a little older and you've known them a few. for long enough to notice that they all do some of the same weird shit. You're like, I don't understand. Did y'all have a meeting? Was there any? Yes, all right, exactly. Yes, all men are going to leave the spatula next to the grill after carefully wiping the fucking grill and taking the foil off it and all the dishes in the house and blah blah blah. They are going to leave the spatula outside. Yes, all men. All men are going to leave their fucking dirty socks in weird random places. All of them. And whether he remembers to put the seat down or not, he's going to dribble down the front of the bowl. All of them. All of them. I don't. It's amazing. Truly. Truly. Man, there's a million things I'm forgetting about because I don't exactly keep a list. Gosh. But they do that weird thing where they will just sort of all turn together in lockstep in the same time, in the same way, like a flock of birds. And just, what the fuck? Which woman said that all men benefit from this shit show? Making an argument for female separation. Yes, I believe in female separation. Just it's not practical for everyone, and it's not practical for all of us to do it. For, the continuation of the species and whatever. But I totally support it. I was saying this earlier. You missed it. But, I wish there were an island somewhere of, women only and completely free of masculine influence entirely, if that's what y'all want. I support y'all. Write me. Let me know how it goes. Please. I will visit. But, if I'm allowed. Because I, have 2 sons and a husband and whatever. Great. Yeah. Build it. If you build it, they will come. If I had the money, I'd do it myself. And donate it. I don't even want to make money off of it. Don't make me famous for, just, it needs to happen. Because there are so many women out there who are so, shoot down the male drones. Yeah, no, we're dreaming. There's no fucking male drones unless you want target practice in your fantasy world, okay? Because in my fantasy world, there are no men involved. It's a women-only island out in the middle of the ocean, okay? Fuck them. They're not there. That's the idea, you see. I don't think drones could get that far, which means there'd have to be, a ship somewhere, and then you'd have to torpedo that bitch, and that'd probably be, an international war crime or something, and we don't want that, because war is male shit, okay? No. And anybody doesn't believe war is male shit, fight me. Because I'm starting a war for peace. No, I do appreciate the irony of what I said. Let me set my fantasy to higher standards. Right? No, we're dreaming here. Let's dream big, girl. All right? Have I read Richard Dawkins' The Selfish Gene? No, I read The God Delusion. Watching you smoke cigarettes makes me roll and smoke more joints. Oh, no. In that case, I need to work harder to keep up because I am not. No, I didn't read The Selfish Gene. Have you? You should. And then tell me how it is. Les has read that book. That's his real name, so I think you just freaked him out. Rockin'. Change it to something expressive and cool. Is The Selfish Gene any good? It's a classic at this point. Jesus, was that published in 1979 or something? I'm pretty familiar with that because that's where he wasn't as good as The God Delusion. That makes sense. Like I said, I think that was his first book. It makes sense. It wasn't as good. But it did come up with the idea of memes as a genetic, as a mental allegory of genes, right? Isn't that where that's from? Being expressive and cool is not something I can do on command. Give me a week. No, yeah, obviously. You gotta simmer it. I didn't say right now. Gosh. Be funny. Yeah. The DNA of the soul. Ooh, is that from it? Is that from the book? Is that Richard Dawkins, a quote from him? I believe that. Like I say, I read The God Delusion. I enjoyed it. He's fairly snappy as a writer. Apparently he's a dickhead in real life, so that sucks. But like, he's an old white dude, so again, I hate to stereotype, but in my experience, chances are decent. Not 100% by any means, but pretty decent. You're dealing with an older white fellow, he's going to be kind of a dick. Yeah, kind of. As a born linguist, pat self on the back, his stuff is kind of required. Right on. Right on. A born linguist. Ooh, what is that? What do you do? Do you write? Do you do other languages? What does that mean? Metal Gear Rising. Really? Nice. Nice. It could be Dawkins. It could. Richard Dawkins. I wanted to be specific. I feel like there's another Dawkins out there floating around somewhere that I could be talking about and am not. Yeah, so no, the God Delusion was fun, and he's a snappy writer, and apparently he's married to the lady who used to play the companion to Tom Baker's Doctor Who, Romana. So that was some nerdy fun for me. To learn that when I read that book, because he referenced her. I'm like, how many women named Lala are there? Is he married to her? Like, what? He'd be the right age. Yeah, so that was fun. Thank you, Google, I guess. But so, right, yeah, no. He married her for like a minute, and then they got divorced pretty quickly, and she ended up married to Richard Dawkins, and I think he's still married to him to this day, I believe. The 70s. Can you imagine that as her? Can you imagine that as her being, some kind of like, it must have been a whirlwind with Tom Baker, right? Woo! And then that ends, which was probably crushing, as these things are. And then you end up married to a guy like Richard Dawkins for the rest of your life. Not that that's some sort of prison sentence or something. I didn't mean to say that so, ominously. But it seems like a bit of a leap. They're both English, and I think that's about where it ends. No, never mind. They're both men, so they both leave dirty socks laying in random places. Because if it's all men, then it's all men, right? All of them. All of them. Because apparently there is only one Y chromosome on Earth.
Hey, you like shortbread cookies, right?
Naturally.
I got your boxes.
Jesus, thank you.
Love you.
I love you. My goodness. Cookies.
I bought some decongestant because Jamie wasn't feeling well.
Ah, right. Good. Thank you.
Here's the money order for Owen.
Okay. Thank you. Love you.
Love you, baby.
They always make it seem like a dream to be with super smart men. But yeah, it might kind of suck beyond understanding. Dirty socks and pee and on and near the toilet. That's right. I'm telling you, pick up those socks for the last time, soak them in water, and throw them in the freezer. No, right. And my mother had a fancy solution for that too. And I don't mean to be presumptuous, but are you married? Because she's not. What are these? What are these? Ooh. Let's see what these are. Oh my. It is a giant plastic thing of little biscuits. Look at that. How adorable. I am not married. You were. Mary's not married. I know Mary. You're single and loving it. Cheese and onions was, and you're happier now. Less has never been and never will. Congratulations on being happier now. Yes. Second that. I'm fairly happily married. We're chugging right along. It's not the sort of thing I'd be writing a book about or anything. I'm not gonna try and tell anybody how to make a marriage, but I will say that just in any close relationship, I feel that one-upsmanship is not statesmanship. I said that in one of my chapters the other day, and I think that's true. That you might win by going biggest. You know, you might win by being the one willing to go biggest because the other person will stop. You know, in any kind of a conflict situation. But that's not how you make a cooperative relationship. So if that's your goal, like, you have to step back in a situation where you find yourself angry enough about something to just sort of blow the situation up by doing something like freezing someone's socks because you're tired of picking them up. If something had shit on it, I would power wash it starting from the opposite side and then throw it in the washing machine. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I meant literal shit. If I said shit, I meant stuff. 5 years celibate by choice. As long as it's by choice and you're happy, I support you. Yeah, so, but by doing something like that, that would be an escalation, right? That would be you taking him not thinking about his socks to really super thinking about his fucking socks and escalating that situation by freezing them, which is passive aggressive as all hell. It's not aggressive because you're not, taking the frozen socks and shoving them in his face. That would be aggressive. 9 years. Rock and roll. Nice. Or, maybe don't rock and roll because those guys are handsy as shit. Makes touching the sock worse. No, right. So it's passive aggressive because you're freezing them and leaving them for him to find. I assume you're not taking them and like dumping them on his pillow or something, and even that would not be overtly, in his face aggressive. 6 years. Nice. You passed your anniversary. Happy anniversary. Anyways, yeah, as a rule, if you're trying to have a cooperative relationship with anyone, a husband, a coworker, a friend, a child, anyone, I find it's what did you miss? You missed me talking about conflict resolution, essentially. Because if you're trying to have a cooperative relationship with someone, it is not good strategy to escalate because you're mad. Freezing the socks is not necessarily a bad idea. It depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to have a cooperative relationship with that person, it's not a good way to do it. For whatever that's worth. I'm not going to give marriage advice. But that's just in general for anyone. If you find yourself arguing with them about something, being the one who's willing to go biggest and winning that way because they back off is not how you form is not how you nurture a cooperative relationship with anyone. Oh my god, right. That's like the first chick at the sleepover falls asleep and put her bra in the freezer. Right. Well, see, that's different because it's a fucking sleepover and it's not a marriage. You go into a sleepover knowing what that shit is too. Right? Yeah. Hanging with your friends and watching movies or drinking or whatever ruins the bra. Does it? I've never done that. Lesbian, but also I'm a celibate for now. That is one small community for sure. Like, what novel am I in? Probably an Emily Dickinson novel, right? Does she write novels or just poetry? I don't know. I'm not a lesbian. I'm what you would call straight leaning bi, I guess. I hate labels like that. For myself. For anyone else, call yourself whatever you want, I guess. It's nice to be able to identify yourself sometimes. You wish you were a lesbian, hate being attracted to the oppressors. Yeah, that's a weird one. Which, again, bred for certain traits. They bred themselves to have longer penises. I said this earlier. Is it sure as shit did not do that for us? No. I do. Apparently, why do we know this? Who the fuck put that together? That the average penis length of the average man has increased over history. Who the fuck put that together? Why do we know this? We don't know what causes PCOS. What the fuck? Would some sort of sci-fi story help with this? The selective traits thing. It got bigger the last 30 years because of junk food. Yeah, that's not what I had read. I was reading over the course of centuries, like very gradually is what I had read. Saw on late night. Okay, well that could have been a punchline there. They're very bad about that, especially these days. Differentiating what the fuck is the news story that they're talking about versus the punchline that they've attached to it. And like, I swear, they used to like kind of twist the news story to make it funny so that the punchline was still factual. It was just funny. And now they like literally will just like tack on random shit, like puns and stuff. It's like, that was a non sequitur. Like, I guess it's funny.
Hey, babe.
Yes, dear.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again. I got you a banana muffin
Why?
because you like bananas and muffins. And you can pick off the nuts.
Thank you, honey. I'm sorry. Thank you. The cookies look good. I took them out and shoved them off. They look good.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I just thought, you want to make you a cup of coffee or something?
If you wouldn't mind, is there anything made out there?
I mean, I can double check.
Well, yeah. I mean, if there isn't any made, because I'm not sure there is any left.
Okay.
So, I have a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have call button everything low.
Sounds good. So if women and girls have been bred and groomed to accept boys and men, could a story provide some sort of balm in a way? Yes. Yes. That's something akin to what I'm trying to do with my book. It's a different sort of thing, but it's a different flavor of the same kind of thing. Like, let's say, I worked in an ice cream parlor, so I always want to come back to ice cream flavors. That would be 2 different flavors of ice cream, but I love it. I think, and I've said this over and over again this week too, I really think fiction, when done right, can be a powerful delivery method for ideas and philosophical concepts into the wider, I always want to say zeitgeist, and I feel like that's an inaccessible word. Red Riding Hood to warn us about people who lie about who they are. Yeah. Animal Farm. I did not understand Animal Farm. That one is opaque to me. I sat through an entire quarter of discussion about Animal Farm in high school, and I don't understand Animal Farm. Red Riding Hood is a perfect, terrifying story. And you know what? That's a really good example. That's kind of... No, it's not a good analogy for what I'm doing, but it's a good example of the similar idea. The one that for some reason came to my mind was The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Apparently was written to save the cathedral when it was like 300 years old and in the old part of town that they were in the middle of tearing down because they were going to rebuild it. Amy Sousa brought it up in her live stream with Alex Aaron. Now isn't the time. You can explain Animal Farm. Now isn't the time. Yeah, right. No, like I said, it took my teacher an entire quarter to talk about, and I wasn't going to ask you to, but thank you. Animal Farm? Did she bring up Animal Farm? Or Little Red Riding Hood? Nice. As usual, I did not get to watch that. Girl, I am eyeball deep in this book. But it is a similar kind of thing. I think there's Animal Farm's an allegory. Right. No, I know. Like, literally, girl, I could sit here and tell you about Animal Farm and talk with you about it and the symbolism in it because I sat through this class and I took the notes and I really tried to understand it. I don't. So I'm not going to insult you that way. Right, yeah. It's the takeover of the Soviet Union, but it's also lots of other shit, like symbolism wise, it has layers and whatever, like Shrek and whatnot, right? So but gosh, any English teachers can't make hay out of anything, I think. But I digress. As a writer, I'm not gonna sit here and bitch about English teachers because I totally could. I killed you. Why? No. How? What'd I do? Oh dear. Oh no. See, oh, I'm funny. What did I say that's funny? Tell me. Oh, then I. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm entertaining. Seriously. Maybe we'll make this into something yet, huh? But yeah, so as far as a sci-fi video book to deal with the idea of women being groomed, not just groomed, bred, and then groomed. I mean, it's a lot easier to groom someone into a lifestyle when they're already, bred for it, right? It's like it's easier to hunt with a hunting dog, right? Right, and the culture grooms us for them. And the whole thing is fucking terrifying, and that is actually what the book is about. Read Gail Dines. Right, yeah. I know. I need to read, but I'm writing, and I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to prejudice myself and accidentally end up regurgitating other people's ideas. If anything, I want to go back and add them in afterward. You sent me her videos. Ooh, in my email? Probably. Is that what I said to do? I wish I could just give out my phone number. I actually got text messages. Good Lord. This is very bold of me, but if you're up for it, we could talk about literature and how it impacts women at some point. Fuck yeah. About pornography. Yes. Talk about literature and how it impacts women. Like, that's literally my life right now. So, yes. Next week, maybe? Are you prepared for that? I'm not. Do I use Telegram? No, I use Signal. I feel like we've had this conversation before. Yeah. So I need to just check my goddamn email, and I could email you my phone number. Right? You can be prepared for that. Okay. All right. So how I mentioned that I have a calendar book? I'm going to go and get it. I'm going to leave y'all right here, and I will be right back. 1 second. Because I got to write that down. Oh my goodness, it sounds really loud out there. Wish me luck. Oh my gosh. Why is the front door standing open, guys? Come on. I need my calendar. I'm just going to take the whole book. What? No, I'm not done. I just needed my book. Had to get up and go and get it. And now I'm going back. Thanks, guys. And, I just could not pass up the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of some dude's mind, right? Because that's what it is. Go ahead and email you. Right. So.
I need your coffee cup.
Oh.
A little bit of creamer in my life. A little bit of dairy.
A little more than that, if you don't mind. Oh, thank you. Ooh, that's great. Stop.
Oh, I thought you said top.
Thank you. I might have. I have a list. Are you making fun of my lisp again? Get out of here, kid. You bother me.
Sorry. Howdy cow. Or are you still doing it?
I'm still on. I went to
Oh.
get the calendar book so I could write down what we were talking about for next week. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah. So I just had the same conversation 3 times because they're not all the same person, but in a way they are all the same man. I have my email and always give it to her if you want. Right. So I like email in theory. In practice, I get 100 of them a day from all the random shit I've signed up for and this and that and the other through the years. So if you want to actually contact me, there are better ways. Text is great. But I don't want to just give out my phone number in the chat, you know? So I can. Because then I can give her my Discord and then I can confirm her and give her your email. That would be fantastic. But you know, the email is brazenshi@gmail. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you could guess that probably. That's the blog. So I don't know. I'm Rad Mom now. Tell me that's not a dude-oriented thing, right? Oh my gosh, all that stuff. The grooming of the culture, but like I say, it's so much easier to groom someone into a lifestyle if they're already sort of bred for it, right? And just the scale of it is mind-boggling. And like, this is literally what the book is about, guys. This is it right here. Right. How you feel about me giving Mary my Discord and then I can type out your email to her? It's up to you. Like, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not like, I'm, you know, I'm not super worried about the email, honey, but I appreciate the effort and the gatekeeping. That's what gates are for, right? To control traffic in one direction or another. That's what gates are for. All right. Because like I say, I like logic a lot, and I like material reality a lot. I do. In a lot of I'm like, where it's like, oh yeah, material reality makes me happy. That's not what I mean. I appreciate it. I suppose would be a better way to say it. That it exists and is a lovely litmus test and measuring stick for a lot of things. Even though I may be wandering in the valley of fiction. Instagram. What strikes me about the grooming is that we get groomed for women's work, but that work is looked down on, even by conservative women. Right, well, because they're groomed to look down on women. Because women are looked down upon. Because round and round and round. And once you see that it's a loop, you know, you just gotta... I was thrown off of it myself, like falling off of a merry-go-round, like, whoa, what the fuck? That thing is spinning really fast. You can find me there under the same name. Oh, yeah, I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that. I'm old. I had an Instagram back when it was its own thing. Not just Facebook as pictures. Facebook but pictures. All right, so next week. Someone had a fantastic topic for next week. What was it? Anyone remember? Back in the chat somewhere. Literally only created these things to connect with women. That's a solid idea. Has it worked? Yes and no. Oh. But so it's so nice to see you, Melissa. I meant to say hi. Thank you so much for the topic. It's been really fruitful so far. Mainly I was discussing some of my theories surrounding the idea that there's only one Y chromosome on Earth. And that explains some of the weird little ways that, men are not all the same person. But they are all the same man somehow. Yeah, they get the X from their mother, and they get personality from. No, I'm happy you're here. Yeah, I'm glad to see you because this was your topic and it's been really cool. And I kind of reframed it a little bit because then you were talking about Jordan Peterson and wanting to smack him, and who hasn't? But I think I might just knock his head right off. It's so thin; he has nothing to absorb the blow. So please don't do that. We'll just fantasize about it because we were dreaming about a woman-only island earlier too, and I was saying how if we're dreaming, we might as well dream big. So you'd smack the shit out of Jordan Peterson in your dreams. Yeah. Anyway, I've done it myself. Yeah. But so I kind of reframed it to the worth of a woman's domestic work. He thinks he's pro-woman. Well, the worst ones do, don't they? They don't know what a woman is, though. It's like being pro-unicorn because you think unicorns exist. And every horse you find, you try and tie a horn to it and get upset when it doesn't want to wear the damn thing. Unless it was specifically bred and trained to. Well, there's a metaphor that went further than I expected it to. Tra-la-la. Yeah, I think all the worst ones think they're pro-woman, but they don't know what a woman is. Because they're, I don't know, narcissists or something, can't see past. The kind of person who's never really talking to you, they're talking to their concept of you. She's some weird meta shit. But you get that sense sometimes, definitely. Someone, they're like, reading from one side of a script that you don't have, right? I literally developed medication tactics to fight these dickwads. What do you mean? You mean medication regimens that you take to deal with the stress of them, or what? But so, what is the worth of women's domestic labor? Tons. Tons. Who's going to argue otherwise? I dare you. Please come at me. Not medication. Meditation. Oh. I read it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm American. We take a lot of drugs. I'm sorry. No, wait, you're American. That's not. No, yeah. Last you're Aussie, right? So I blame my Americanisms. Whatever. No. Meditation is always a good idea, especially when having to deal with frustrating people, many of whom are going to be men. And that's just kind of how been a theme of today's discussion is how men are frustrating in a special way. And they're all frustrating in the same special tiny ways. Our labor allows men to work harder in the business world. Yes. Not to mention, like I was saying earlier, as far as their little Y chromosome and there's that idea going around that it's degenerated, and I guess it is, but eventually the thing that it only does one thing anyway. The Y chromosome makes you male. That's all it does. Is male stuff, maleness things, anything associated with maleness. Everything else you get from your mother through the X chromosome that she gave them. Everything. They get everything but their maleness from us. Everything. Okay. Our labor doesn't even begin to cover it. Not even begin to cover it. And eventually, whatever the little thing is that makes maleness will just hop to the X chromosome, and you'll have X chromosomes floating around out there with maleness on them. There will still be men. There are other animals out in the natural world where this has happened already. Apparently, I read. So, yeah, the death of the man is greatly exaggerated. However you feel about that. I wish everyone luck forming their women-only island, and I hope that one day I may visit it. This sounds awesome. I couldn't live there. I have 2 sons. And a husband. Yeah. And a dad, but I don't talk to him anymore anyway. But, others. Yeah. On the bright side, my quota is met. I don't need any more. That's what I tell him every time he, teases me about ever wanting to, not be with him and be with some other dude for any reason ever. I'm like, no. my quota is more than met. I don't need any more men in my life. Ever. I'm good. Who will pick up their dirty socks if you leave them to come to our utopia? Well, I would just be visiting, first of all. I'm sure there will be picking up to do when I get back. Secondly, I don't know. They'll run out eventually and figure it out. Again, men do not get to build civilization and circumnavigate the globe using the fucking stars, all that crap, and then claim to be stupid. No, they're not going to get away with that with me. No. They will figure that shit out. Or they won't. Eventually they'll get sick, and maybe they'll figure it out. Who knows? The guy who figured out where that famous story about that London water pump, that was a man who figured that shit out. Everybody was getting sick from the water. I've been collecting, if you will, a series of creatures where the females evolved to be like, fuck you to the males, hyenas, seahorses, koalas. Yeah, but see, the males of those species are unusually aggressive, right? Isn't that always the case? Where the females have no choice but to protect themselves and their young from the males who are overly aggressive in those species. Am I wrong? Wait, don't the male seahorses carry the babies? Not the seahorse, but yeah, the others. Right. So that's usually the case where the males are overly aggressive. I'm like, some men are righteous, violent dicks. Not denying that. But most of them aren't. All the research that I've done leads me to believe that it's approximately 10% of the male population. Approximately. Hyenas rock. Right on. Hey, female clans. Fuck yeah. Go do it. I would love to visit it one day just to see that shit in action. Really. I will not disturb you, okay? Lionesses, right? Female ducks, female cats. Poor female ducks. Poor female cats. Yeah. Apparently male cats have penises that are barbed in what you might call the wrong direction. I mean, either direction is wrong, I guess. Yeah. Oh my god. We got off light in some ways, didn't we? In that stuff can be nice for us. It can be. It isn't always by any means, but it can be. As opposed to being a duck. Here their penises are like corkscrews or some stupid shit like that. What the fuck, nature? The aggression allows them to restrict women's activities and claim that women would be able to build societies or would be unable. Right. Right. Well, you suppress someone, and you find this on an individual basis quite a bit with bad parenting, where you suppress someone's abilities, either consciously or unconsciously, for your own motives. And then eventually you have to end up bitching at them because you're still doing all this shit for them. I've seen that on an individual basis many times. And yeah, on a societal basis, I think there are a lot of different groups. Oppressed minorities. That's really the essence of that, right? Where you suppress a group and then bitch at them and, accuse them of being lesser than because they've been suppressed. I saw a male cat in my yard before my kitty has her surgery. I almost killed him without thinking. Ooh. Okay, I do not support the murder of cats. Waterfowl have very strange penises. I have a male goose who thinks I am his girlfriend. I know more than I want to. Ooh. I am divided on whether I want to ask anything or not. I kind of already feel like I know too much, you know? I love ducks. They're adorable. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck, duck? It's like, what's up, Doc, but funnier and worse. Oh, God. So this has really gone to a wild corner. Thank you so much, ladies. This is so much fun. Yeah. So thank goodness male penises are smooth and straight. And extra long these days. For whatever reason, apparently. By kill him, I guess they meant got real aggressive and made sure he never came back by being real loud and big. He never did come back. Yeah. Well, you gotta do that. I mean, shit, throw a rock at it, you know. You gotta let him know who's boss. Right. That's what I'm saying. They did not breed themselves to have longer penises for us. They didn't do that for our sake. No, ma'am. They're the ones who are worried about that. Aren't they? So, apparently they take that shit about as seriously as they act like they do. I always thought it was like half a joke, but the proof's in the pudding. Goddamn. Because what I was reading was it's been over several centuries that it's slowly increased in length. And I was like, what the fuck is that shit about? And the article that I read tried to argue that it was women selectively breeding with men with longer penises. Males develop little barbs on their dicks for female well-being. Ha ha ha, no way in hell. Or heaven or anywhere else, right? Longer penises means more likely to impregnate a female who has multiple mates. Yeah. Could be. Also, I mean, look at the way men behave. Their behavior, that's how they select for mate preference, for who gets first pick, man. Girl, friend, lady. Oh, how, hun, my dear Melissa. That is how they select for who gets first pick of the ladies. Is either who has the biggest dick or who they perceive has the biggest dick. Men are gross. Well, people are gross. Women are gross in some different ways, and thank goodness for that. That's all I had to say about that, really. Like, really, people are gross. Some of the things that all people do is just fucking nasty. So, I don't want this to tie. It would be really, really easy. Oh, no! My battery is dying. Oh, my God, where is that cable? I gotta run and get my cable. I swear to God, I'm gonna break this thing with a hammer. Just for existing and then not working perfectly all the time. Ooh, that was quick. I knew exactly where it was. I'm so proud. What do we got? They compete among themselves to exclude weaker men from the mating pool. Right. They conclude that women want big, hairy, chest-pounding men. Right. We need multiple words for gross. Absolutely. Like Eskimos for snow, because that's how much we deal with. There are so many levels of gross. Aren't there? Oh, many levels. Oh, my goodness. Like, there's gross where men put the balls up on windows. Then women can be gross for not showering. Doesn't feel like the same thing. That's true. I mean, now when you say are gross, there's also like, I hope this is not controversial to anyone, but like, menstruation is gross. It's yucky, it's painful and uncomfortable, and the stuff is it's gross, and I don't enjoy it at all. But like you say, on the other hand, it's not the same thing as like this really gross, disgusting fellow I happened to spy once standing in his open front door masturbating at traffic. Starkers. Not the same thing at all. Not. And there's doing, and then there's doing. Susie McKee Charnas wrote a whole series in which women created their own language in which they have many words for sex for different reasons and feelings. I like it. That's pretty cool. And as far as someone's mentioned earlier, dealing with the idea of being selectively bred, right? Sci-fi, exactly. Les, was it you who had asked earlier about a sci-fi book talking about, dealing with the concept that, of women being selectively bred for certain traits and whatnot? It's not what that is, but that is such a fantastic idea. Could you write it? Would you want to write it? Do you know someone who could write that? Because I could not write that. But someone should, if it doesn't exist already. Mine is in a similar vein. Like I say. Spare you. What do you mean spare you? Too dystopian. Yeah. No, that's part of why I went historical fiction, because historical fiction is not dystopian. Like, by its very nature, it's set in the past. I do kind of have a story about that in a way, but not really. Ooh, that is a good idea. Yeah, please write it. Someone should. And if you're not into dystopias, then whatever. It doesn't have to be. It would sort of. But that's where we live. It would be an allegory. And that's what we were talking about earlier, where, and this is controversial and this is my own idea, but women for a very long time have been a captive community that were selectively bred for certain traits for a long time. Haven't kept up with your book. Love chapter 2, right? You said. That's awesome. I found that chapter super boring to read. So it's fascinating, and I love that you found that it grabbed you. That's so cool. Because of course I wrote it and I read it many, many times. I edited it and all of that. So lots of clothes, yes. Well, so women's world, gosh, I didn't go into the half of it. Victorian clothes, are you kidding me? It's probably people gonna read the book half for that and be disappointed. Love clothes, right? Yeah, exactly. And oh gosh, you need to keep going because you haven't got to the crinoline chapter yet. Ooh. Where do you find your story? It's on the community tab. I reshared the link a couple of days ago, so it should be at or near the top to the PDF. A nice big 14-point type. I had to fix it. It was in 12, and somebody was having trouble reading it. So I made it bigger, and it messed up some of my formatting, so the lines don't necessarily break where they're supposed to. It looked better. I swear to God, I do know typesetting. I am that old. So please go read the book. Let me know what you think, or go and listen to the videos. I've been doing chapter readings all week. I'm going to be doing a couple more of those next week, and I'm loving this. This live has been really live. It's been really hopping today. This is fun. We're at 2.5 hours almost. It looks fine. Well, yeah, again, I'm the writer, and I'm picky about where I want my lines to break and stuff, because sometimes I use it as almost a storytelling element to, accentuate this or that or whatever. And the protagonist will have internal monologue stuff that is on its own line, but has no quotations or anything around it, which might be confusing. That was a lot of what you loved about it. Robert Jordan, epic fantasy adventure, had a lot of clothes in it. That was what you loved about it. Yeah, well, I forget which chapter, if it's 3 or 4. I just think of it as the crinoline chapter. Oh my God. Please let me know what you think of the crinoline chapter. Please. You get it. Formatting is very important to you. Right. And like I say, I use it almost as a voice of element and a storytelling element. I can't put it into italics because I use that for other stuff. Italics are like flashbacks, which not when she's younger, obviously, but later on happened quite a bit. So You know what? I need an editor. If I found myself talking with like an editor about such things, I would definitely be open to. Not that I'm not open to ideas, but I've already used italics for stuff. Okay, because I'm up to altogether probably approaching 90,000 some odd words. Here, I should actually plug the computer in. It will charge much better if I plug it in. There we go. Let's try this fresh cup of coffee we got. The format ads. Right, and I used it. Like, overtly. Line breaks and stuff like that for... There's always asterisks to set off different stuff like flashbacks. I've never put internal monologue into italics. Maybe I should try that. See, I had thought of that, but no. Just happy you could see the words, right? I see the flashbacks are usually like something someone said. So it'll be like, what they said, but in italics. Which, I don't know, to me felt intuitive for a thing like that. There are several like things someone said that sort of repeat for a while at a certain point. Because, trauma and shit, so. I don't know. I read a goodly bit about it out loud to my husband, and he laughed when he was supposed to laugh and asked the questions I hoped he would ask. Right about when I hoped somebody would ask them. And all that good stuff, so. Signs are good. Signs are good. Exposition, kinda, no. What's like exposition? I'm sorry. Internal monologue in italics? Like, it's a little bit like, I'm glad your husband laughed when he was missing. Right, yeah. It's, and there have been a couple of things, just offhand things he said, where inside I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want you to be thinking right now. So, that always feels good. I don't think that's the sort of thing, knowing me, the emotional journey is not going to be what confuses people. I'm so happy other women are enjoying your book. Well, my husband's not a woman, but he's a man. Well, I'm happy if men enjoy it. I hope they do. It'll make everything a lot easier. Yeah, but so the value of women's domestic labor. The women in the chat. Thank you, all of you wonderful, wonderful ladies for joining me on this very gray day. You cannot tell because the light looks very, very bright on my face, but it is twilight outside, I swear. And not the book. The thing where it's neither day nor night. All day. And I was having so much trouble waking up earlier. Thank you for helping wake me up, perk me up, and all of that. Hey, Mary, just want to confirm that it was you who I messaged. Y'all taking care of some stuff behind the scenes. Love it. Extra safety. Watch Twilight thinking it was a horror movie. So disappointing. Yeah, again, I think I was probably pushing 30 when that shit came out. So I think I heard about it first when they made the movie. The ceiling has me floored. I don't know what you're talking about, but I like it. That's good. Good puns, I appreciate. Clever puns. I think, they say a pun is the lowest form of comedy. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it can be the highest. You can say a lot with a good pun. Nice. I was so creeped out by the teenage boy who talked like a manipulative, grooming adult. Well, that's who wrote his dialogue. Ooh, that's been one that's ruined a lot of stuff for me. is when you take a step back. No, wordplay is the highest form of. That's what I'm saying. It can be one of the highest forms of comedy. You can say a lot with a little, in an excellent pun. It can be satirical, and very sharp, and have a lot of depth to them. And then some of them are just so bad, and you're like, oh yes, those two words mean the same thing. Good job, good job. No, but it's ruined a lot of stuff for me. When you take a step back from a show or a movie to remember puns don't work in other languages. Every once in a while, some of them do. There's some crossover there. Actually, one of my favorite things. Yeah, it is hard to translate them, and that's one of my favorite things. Is literally translated puns and idioms from other languages. I love that shit. That shit is so funny. Low hanging fruit can always mess with comedy. Yeah. Well, lazy writing is lazy writing. I don't care what you're writing. It shows. Yeah, no, idioms are great. I was thinking about that actually. It's sort of oral wisdom, right? Sayings and idioms. Is idiom what I mean? I don't mean like a descriptive turn of phrase. I don't mean like flew the coop. I don't mean that. I mean like bird in the hand is worth two in the bush or something like that. Something, just little bits of like wisdom. And I just love etymology, period. When it's presented well. I actually ran across a video the other day that I was totally down for like the topic of. I thought it was going to be interesting, and then the presenter was like, it was awful. I had to turn it off. I was so disappointed. So, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's a good one. That's a useful one. Yes. Was reading Harry Potter in French. The idioms were bewildering. Melissa, why would you do that to yourself? In for a penny, in for a pound? Yes. That kind of thing. And, and it occurred to me that the person in my family who I learned a lot of them from, and who always used to recite shit like that, in an appropriate moment, was my grandmother, who of course was a woman. And I was just like, bred for certain traits. Practicing my execrable high school bread. Gotcha. Why wouldn't you pick up French language literature book? Why would you read an English language book translated to one of the most prolific... Melissa, you're very silly. Harry Potter in German is, I'm sure. I think all the philosophers stone in French. The Comte Saint-Germain would like to know. No, he would know, wouldn't he? Is he out there? We watched a video about that last night. Gosh, that stuff's so fun. I had not thought about it that way. Harry Potter is particularly good for learning language because it starts very simple and becomes more complicated. Like Mootsie. Anybody remember Muzzy? Oh my god. Tried the Count of Monte Cristo. Couldn't understand a word. Is that originally in French? The polyglot I watch on YouTube said reading Harry Potter in other languages helped him become me. Well, good. Now I have 2 reasons to read it when I'm old. Completely agree. And Harry Potter being great for language learning. Nice. Cool. I've already been putting them off till I'm old and don't have anything else to do. Right. See, that's what I was thinking. That's old French, though. That book's like 300 years old or something, right? Going on it. But I get that one and another one mixed up all the time. It's a different stranded on a distant island on a sailboat, comes back for a revenge story. 1800? Okay. So, post-revolution. There's a guy who wrote a bunch of easy learning language books, and holy crap, they are amazing. Cool. I feel like we've wandered from our conversational topic, though, which is the battle of the sexes, obviously. Paul something. Well, that narrows it down. I'll get right on that. Around the Napoleonic Wars. Yeah, right. I just really have to think of French history as pre or post-revolution, though. That, to me, is the big fat dividing line. Just for my own sanity and ease of thought, the books are literally written to help you learn language like a child does. Back onto the topic, one of the girls in the sea of MC was gay. What? I must be tired because you've lost me. MC, what? Paul Nobel. Well, that will be easy to remember. Okay, that's not exactly the topic, but I was trying. It's a topic. Hey, look, a shiny new change of topic. How about them local sports team? Count of Monte Cristo. Thank you. I'm not awake. That's what it is. I'm not awake. Noble. Okay. Still fairly easy to remember. Yeah. Paul Noble. Oi. Better than John Smith, but not by much. I'm trying to type fast with minimal typos. Bon chance avec ça. Oh my God, I'm so glad Philly lost the Super Bowl. I was so calm there the next day. The best. I love you so much. That's so amazing. I'm so glad you're happy. I had no idea that it had even happened because I live in Tennessee and I was completely kidding about the local sports team. That's a random joke line I like to use sometimes. I know. Oh my God, that's so perfect. That was so perfect. I love it. Oh my gosh. Never give a man credit unless it was worth it. Well, the thing about credit is you have to give it in advance before you know if it's worth it. That's why it's a risky investment. So that's a bummer. But I heard something interesting the other day. Respect is wait. Earned, not given? Like, you have to wait to see how someone is before you trust them with anything. Which I don't know. Made sense to me, speaking of idioms and turns of phrase and whatever. But so with us being so much more genetically diverse than them, that gives them an advantage organizationally, doesn't it? And us, I have mixed feelings about the whole being bred for certain traits thing, because I think it's true. I can't come up with a reason that it's not. Why a captive population of individuals over a long period of time being forcibly bred for certain traits, that the descendants of that population wouldn't then also have a lot of those traits? Why wouldn't that be true? And then observationally, it just is. Yeah, that's one of the issues we have with some men. They demand respect without earning it. Right. And it's like, it's interesting because part of their concept of us that I think a lot of them have trouble getting past, that they try to talk to like the female equivalent of themselves and their weird lockstep thing that they do, and how they're all kind of the same on a certain level. And we're not like that. And it confuses them greatly, I think. And causes some of them a lot of stress. And is a source of a lot of miscommunication, I think. Why did I develop to have large breasts and hips, a small waist, and then shitty ankles and feet? It feels like an evil sick joke. Or male breeding. Like one of those poor puppies who can't breathe right. Oh. Yeah. I respect them just means shut up and see. And this is another one. We were talking about how we need more than one word for gross. We need more than one word for respect too. There's respect and then there's deference. Not difference, deference, like deferring to someone when you're like, okay, whatever you say, boss. That's deference. Respect is when you respect someone enough to let them know when they're fucking up. You respect someone enough to correct them when they're wrong. And assume that they'll take it with grace. Poor Freud and his what do women want? Right, yeah. Oh my God, was Freud not one of the worst ever who ever lived with that? Not one of the worst men who ever lived. That's not what I mean to say at all. Freud was clearly missing other avenues. Yeah, like the input of a woman ever for anything. Heard conservative men talking about Chinese women are better than feminists because they differ to men, right? Was Freud a dick? Yeah, but he died of throat cancer, so it's 100 years ago, so it's okay. He had some interesting ideas. And I will steal an interesting idea from wherever the fuck. I don't care. He heard his friends were abusing their daughters and decided the daughters wanted it. Yeah. No, but that's not what he tried to say at first. That's what I've read. That was not his first impulse to rationalize that shit. His first impulse was to try and fix that shit. And that was not going to happen. So that was what I had read. And it's so sad for a grown human to want to be deferred to by another grown human, right, outside of some sort of a work context. Like, even if let's go back to, Neolithic man, okay? Like, let's say you're planting wild seeds, or I don't know, building a hut, anything. The idea that there's one person with an idea or a plan, and then they direct others in the use of the resources, that's just going to happen. Sometimes you end up with one person being like the foreman, four-person, whatever. I mean, I had a doctor who once fake strangled me. I'm sure Freud was just, insert a word we don't have yet. Yeah. Horrifying. No, and see, this goes back to another pet theory of mine, which is that the person who is the first to volunteer for a position of authority is the last person who should be given it. Because you don't want that guy in charge of anything. He thinks he ought to be in charge of everything. So you don't give it to him. My God, no. And that goes for doctors, that goes for cops, that goes for, unfortunately, a lot of times nurses, teachers, parents. When a 15-year-old girl tells me she can't wait to be a mom, I'm like, why? Do you want a puppy? We'll get you a puppy for Christmas. What the fuck? You have so much to do before you get to that. You have easily a decade. Come on. What's that phrase about the man who wasn't the least, once the least power should be given it? Something like that. Yeah. And as far as all men men are not all the same person, but on a certain level, they're all the same man. If there's only one Y chromosome, and all the Y chromosome does is make you male. And the maleness is all the same. The male part. Just the male part. And, all the little connected tendrils of that. My friend, who is a mom, says her life is like trying to dry the ocean. Maybe she should build a boat. In project organization, there's a degree of voluntary deference. Men want women to defer involuntarily. Right, some do. Some do. That's a mark of a man whose company I don't want. There are those out there who don't expect that. There are those out there who are very awkward and feel very weird when you do that. Those are the ones whose company I want. But they're not all a lost cause. She has 4 biological children who live with her, 29, 5, and 2. 5 and 2 and 9. All right, I'm going to be sexist for a minute. Is the 9-year-old a girl or a boy? Why do 20-year-olds still live with them? Oh, right, because it's 2023. I forgot for a second. Jesus, we live with my husband's mother. I'm 30. I'm 9. I'm going to be about to be 40. Because we need her just as much. She needs us just as much as we need her. Which is why it seems sad to me. Plenty of men don't need to feel good about themselves. They don't. And saying that they all do is throwing the baby out with the bathwater, to quote another turn of phrase. 20 girl, 9 and 5 are boys, 2 is girl. Okay. She's got some time yet with a 9-year-old, and good for her. Bless her. I lived in the South too long. But yeah, not all my research, and I did quite a bit of research on this because again, I have 2 sons. Okay, I kind of needed to know if I was married for a minute. I thought you said 20 kids. No, God. 20-year-old would also live with her bio dad. Parents are divorced. Her dad made her raise her younger siblings, stealing her childhood. Ugh, hate that shit. God damn. See, and that's what I'm saying. Some parents should not be parents because they really just want to boss someone around. They're like the middle management of life. Awful, awful people. Not all parents. Not myself, obviously. Like I say, I only kind of stumbled into this because I had like a moral responsibility or some shit. Literally, I have a 29-year-old friend who's still raising her siblings. It's the Hispanic culture. I am not an expert in any way on Hispanic culture. She is a 1-year-old herself. That's why women usually get custody. Men don't cut back work hours, etc. to do childcare. Moved here from the Dominican Republic. And crazy sexist. Yeah. Right. Latin culture is very bad with that, from what I hear. Again, from Indiana, so not an expert on that. Not going to speak to that. But that's what I have heard and what I've gathered. Yeah, no, but all my research, and I did quite a bit of research on this because, like I say, I have 2 sons, and I needed to know: am I necessarily unleashing oppressive, violent people onto this world? I needed to know that. I needed to know if that was a given. And so it's like women cook and clean, and boys are coddled. Right, patriarchal. Yeah. The fact that that's still going on in such numbers out there. The word infuriating doesn't mean to cover it. We need more words, ladies. We need more words. Get on it. All right. I feel like I'm doing my part. So, but all the research that I've done here and there and over the years and some pretty concerted efforts a couple of different times has led me to believe that it's approximately 10% of the male population are violent assholes. They're prolific, though. They're prolific, violent assholes. The majority of the male population are like the grunts, if you will. You have to trick them. You have to trick their conscience into letting them do evil shit. So many men are great companions. It's a shame so many others think their value to the family lies in their pocketbooks. Yeah, 10% of males are rapists. They are. Approximately 10% of males are violent, rapist assholes. Yes, they're prolific. It's like their favorite hobby. You know? Think about how often you do your favorite hobby. And there you go. You have some idea how fucking prolific some of these assholes are. But it really is only like 10%. 15 at the absolute most. If you account for all the ones that go unreported and uncaught and undocumented. Throw them all away. 6-year-old girl I know at the time was told to make breakfast for her 10-year-old brother by the father. Okay, and see, this is where I think they're confused. Like, they are born apparently knowing how to pee standing up. We're not born knowing how to make fucking pancakes. They get confused with shit like that. It's funny. And this is another thing I learned. It's just like when you get a dog, you can't be mad that the dog barks at shit. When you get a man, you can't be mad that he does man shit. And I will be damned if it would not be really useful if we could all maybe have a powwow and get together. And those of us who are interested in experiencing such things, of course. Those of you on your lady-only island, we'll report back to you if you like. Get together and try and figure out what the fuck man shit is exactly. What are the parameters of that? I've named a few that I would nominate. But damn, if that wouldn't be a fun conversation, right? What exactly is man shit? What do they all do? What are the parameters of that? It's little stuff. A lot of it's subtle. That you only notice when you live with several of them over a succession of decades. And you just start to go, wait a minute. My dad does that exact same weird, stupid shit. You've never met him. What the fuck? Still sometimes often feels like we're being told to have an attack dog because attack dogs, maybe it may attack you. Yes. Right. That's right. Right. And there's so many different kinds of dogs out there. You can get lots of different kinds of dogs. Whichever one you like, really. And we're being told there's really only the one kind that is really a dog. And all the rest of them are cats. It's Ron Swansonism, right? Anything less than 10 pounds is a cat, and cats are a waste of time. What's it, 50? Anything less than 50 pounds is a cat, and the cats are a waste of time. I have never seen a cat weigh more than 30 pounds ever, not a domestic one. What the fuck? You watched it last night? No way. No way. No way. That episode, like, really? Okay, still. That's a mad coincidence, right? Nice. Wait, how do I convert this? Aha. A best of Ron clip. Okay. Pounds to, like, I don't know, kilograms or something? Like, okay. A 10-pound dog is like a Chihuahua. It's a small dog. Like the size of a cat. Best of Ron in April. Love April. Obviously. Gosh. Oh. 20 kilograms. Thank you, Mary. Numbers are really not my friends anyway. I 2.2 kilograms equals 5 pounds. I don't know. I'm an American. I do pounds and inches and miles, and I speak English. I speak like 5 dialects of English, though, to be fair. I'm an English polyglot. You're a numbers person. Nice. Now I'm jealous. Although, I got another wild little story for you. I was never taught to multiply. You know the times table they made you memorize in elementary school? I was never taught that. Because I went to 4 different elementary schools in 5 years. So I managed to miss that entirely. I remember I was sitting in the 8th grade trying to do long division again. When it finally dawned on me that 25 was 5 fives. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times is... Like, I figured it out myself at the age of 14. Because they were never taught to me. So, yeah. Not only the numbers could not quite seem to make sense to me the way they make sense to a lot of people. Did I get Schoolhouse Rock with my Saturday morning cartoons? No, honey. In 1993, I did not. My algebra teacher was literally demoted because he taught whole calls wrong. The whole year. And the school just swept it under the rug. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I was in pre-algebra class. That's the class I was sitting in when I figured that out. I should not have been there. I had no business being in that class at that time because I did not know how to multiply, you see. I'd noticed that these numbers, like I had memorized these, as like working a cash register. You know how you just kind of have the prices, you memorize the menu, and then you kind of know what the change is because you've done it so many times. It was like that. That's how I did math. And I was like, yeah, I just have them memorized. And everyone's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't think that's not what I mean. Like, math. Yay. A girl's education. Yay. No one noticed I couldn't do math for like 5 years. I mean, they did. They didn't like really notice though. You know, like they noticed I couldn't do math. You were good at math before high school. Rock on. Like the torpedoing of my math education, of which I speak, happened in like the 2nd grade. So, yeah. I never had a chance. But like, yeah, nobody stopped to like actually give me a skills test and see what I could and couldn't do and maybe try and figure out why. Oh, maybe I was learning disabled or something. They didn't fucking know. And It's all right. I'm a writer. Whatever. It's cool. I don't need to do math to write a fucking novel, do I? Super good at math in elementary. It's math, not maths, right? Dang, haha. Arithmetic. I was not taught properly to do arithmetic. So algebra. I should not have been in that class. Looking back, I should not have been in that class. And anyway, I had no business being in that class at all. Hindsight, right? There's another saying for you. Hindsight is 2020. Yeah, it is. You see things better from a distance, from after some time has passed, for sure. Or as an adult, and definitely as a parent, you look back at your younger years and go, "Oops, that was probably not the wisest thing to do." I'm younger, and I was put in business maths. I cannot say I was taught that. Is it somehow different than regular maths? Serious question. I mean, I suppose it would be math with a business focus, but that's a business class. Like that's just a business class. I don't. So economics, right? Business maths would be economics, wouldn't it? There we go with our wordplay again. I was average at math, but really good at everything else. So I got told I was lazy because I wasn't trying hard enough at math. Oh, God. Right. I just didn't like it. And of course I didn't like it. I couldn't fucking do it. And I did not know why. Until years later, I figured out, I realized what had happened. But at 8, 9, 10 years old, I didn't know why I couldn't do it. I just couldn't fucking do it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know why. It's more about learning about interest brackets and whatnot. Okay. Yeah. Right on. Boring. But I've had classes about that shit too. Basics of accounting, that kind of thing. Or I actually had an insurance license for a little while. So, yeah, you have to learn all that shit then too and pass the insurance license test. With the skin of my teeth. I figured I would pick it up later, and then I just didn't end up doing it. Because you ever had a job where you didn't make a single dime in a month? I quit that job. You enjoy a subject when it makes sense to you, right? So I said I didn't like math, and they took that as kind of the explanation. Because mind you, I think they've changed the scoring on the ACT. It used to go up to 32, I think. I got a 29. And I read that like Ivy League schools wanted you to get at least a 27. Business studies taught more. That sounds like a much more serious sort of branch of. It's so terrible because you can sort of call a college class whatever you want and have it be just total fluff and nonsense. But they've even had accredited schools. I've seen it. I've been there. I've been through them. It's not good. I did. I took a class at a community college, which was a pop music history class that I could have taught. Because it already picked up all of this shit off watching VH1 over the years. All of it, I swear. Anyway, business studies. Not business studies was in high school. Business studies taught. Right, now that sounds like a college class. What the fuck was I saying? Before the thing about the music history class. Right, yeah, they did not take the time to figure out why I could not do math. But yeah, no, I did really well on my ACT. I got a 29 out of 32. And Ivy Leagues wanted you to get a 27. And the thing I'm getting at is I did not finish the math portion. Because even as a junior in high school, I could not do math. And I still got a 29. So fuck you, Harvard. I guess. Now, man, if I can't do some reading retention and shit like that. Ooh, boy, I got a vocabulary that you could beat a man to death with, so here's to trying. Thank you. And, so that's what I did. I outweighed the, there was a reading and a comprehension or something. There was like 2 English and language-based sections, and I just blew them both out of the water. And then, science is science. It doesn't change. You got negative numbers in spatial logic and awareness. They do spatial logic and awareness. And that's like a subsection of something where you have to like choose, spin the block this way and what would the side look like. I've practiced that because I noticed, okay, my parents met at a Mensa meeting, and that's not a brag. It's just a fact. But so one of the things that resulted in was having those goddamn quiz books shoved under my nose repeatedly growing up. I think it was on the SAT. Yes, spin the block. Yeah, that. And I noticed in looking through these, and the ACT is also essentially a Mensa intelligence test. A big one. It's the same shit. So I had these quiz books shoved under my nose over and over again over the years, from the time I was in single digits. And I noticed that I struggled with that one, so I had practiced that one. In Australia, it's a different system. I got lower in the school test than in the government test, and the government one was mattered more. So why did I do year 12? As a vacation? A staycation? I don't know. Why did you? Did they make you? If so, that's shit. You were taught that if you didn't do year 12, you'd get into uni, and that was a lie. Oh, fuck. That's shit. I had to do year 12 because I failed half of year 9. And I needed the credits. Yeah, needless to say, what with the not ever actually, with the moving around sufficiently to miss actually being taught to multiply, combined with other various things, school was not really my thing. So I graduated because by that point, I decided to myself that I had not come all this way without getting, that I was not going to have come all that way without getting that piece of paper. So I'm a stubborn bitch like that. A friend of mine did that. She did the whole drop out, get your GED thing, which looked amazing. And I still would support someone doing that if they felt, that was the right move for them. I don't know that she's ever regretted doing it. I decided it wasn't what I was going to do. Because that was just me. That was my decision. I had not been doing it. I was in year 10 by that point. I'm doing this for a decade plus. I kind of thought all you really need for a complete education is a library credit. Right. No, and as I said, I literally took a course at the community college in Cleveland, which is a big community college. They have 3 campuses, okay? This is not a podunk, nowheresville, little underfunded community college. So when I say community college, it really does not do it justice. Attendance year 12 certificate. Attendance equal to year 12 certification for me. That was built it. Principal even pronounced my name wrong. Ugh. Ass. What an ass. I'm sorry. That sucks. Right. To get the paper. That's why I finished too. Pretty much. Excuse me. That, and I didn't have any burning ambition at the time to go do anything else. If I had, I might have. You loved college? I loved some college. I've tried various flavors. Kind of thought, really, right. No, the library, like I say, I took that college course at a real college. It took me a community college, but it's a real school. It was a music history. It was just an entire semester. I want to say it was a quarter of music history, pop music history. I never had to crack the book once, ever. And I'm a music nerd, but oh my god, Community is one of my favorite. Right, but this was not that. This was the antithesis of that as community colleges go, if you can imagine. And it's 3 campuses across town, okay? Big campuses. Community was kind of the nightmare dream, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, that's called a comedy, right? The nightmare dream. The dream nightmare? I don't know. Where you put real life a sitcom, right? A situation comedy where you mine the comedy from real life situations. Let's just get Jeff out of it, and then I'm in. History of ice cream, that's my major. Now y'all making a bunch of community references, and I've like literally been in and out of the room when that shit was on, and it looks funny. I know who some of the characters are, and that's it. I don't think I've ever gotten to sit through an entire episode of that because I have a 5-year-old. I don't get to sit through television shows right now. It's not how my life works right now. Jeff Winger. Oh, the white guy. All right. Jeff is a Dick Lord character. Really? That's another thing. It's like, I've invoked several stereotypes here in this discussion as if they were true. In my experience, some stereotypes are strong basis in reality. And a lot of times it's up to the individual to develop a little bit of self-awareness and maybe not be a walking fucking stereotype, Develop your own personal character. Become an interesting person. Abed is your favorite with Annie a close second. I don't know enough about them to have a favorite character. We don't talk about season 4. Gotcha. Love Britta. Okay. I've seen every single episode of Parks and Rec. And 30 Rock, I never got around to. Ooh. The gas leak. Oh, yeah, that was stupid. Troy. Oh, the taller white guy. Is Troy a white guy? I don't know. Troy sounds like a white guy. See, my life experience, Troy makes me think of High School Musical, which I actually worked a community theater production of at one point. Troy's black. Oh, okay. I bet it's beyond creepy and anti-woman. See, an anti-woman characters makes me think. Last week we were talking about Mary. You had wanted to discuss. Come on, help me out, goddammit. Ooh, Big Bang Theory. There it is. Chevy Chase, I know, because he's an old timer, and I sometimes feel like an old timer in that, like, I literally would walk through the room and go, "Hey, it's Chevy Chase," and a sea of faces of people I didn't know. Young Sheldon, right, is the one that you wanted to talk about. You identify with Abed. Sometimes I identify with Patrick Bateman. Doesn't make him a good guy. Anyone seen that clip of Big Bang Theory without the laugh track? Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? That show's not funny. I never thought it was. Wanted to discuss Missy Sheldon's sister joining the boys' baseball team. Has anyone seen that? Needless to say, I did not get around to watching that. I'm sorry. Because I am. But I didn't. Because I wasn't going to. Girlfriend. A, I have kids, and B, I'm writing a novel, and C, I have to make dinner most nights of the week. So, like, between those 3 things, I'm happy to shower on a regular basis. I love you guys, but is she trying to join because it's her only option in playing or not? Good question. For baseball, it would be. Girls get to play softball. Made all the boys uncomfortable. Okay. But she was cool with it? Was she like all like, yep, what's up, I'm here? Was she low-key about it? It's the only option. Is there a softball team she could be on? Because again, I did this. I was on a softball team. I might have said baseball because the idea that women can't play baseball is so fucking stupid to me. I could rant about that for hours, but it would literally just be me saying that over and over again in different ways because other girls at the school bullied her about it. Damn, I gotta go. Ritalин's wearing. I'm still gonna get some work done. Oh, nice chatting with you, Melissa. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I'm gonna have to scroll back and we got somebody else mentioned a good one for next week too. Have a good day, honey. Uh-oh. Was he also on the team? The same team? Or perhaps a rival team in another town? Like, was he someone she knows? Well, like at a rival school or something? Shit, it's after 2 o'clock. I've been doing this for over 3 hours. I'm gonna have to go soon too. Just because I got stuff to do. I got laundry to do. And writing to do. Like, seriously, though. But the breeding plus the conditioning, that's what the book's about, y'all. That's it right there. And actually, I think y'all helped me clarify some of that today. Thank you. Really. Massive thank you for that. Because how kind of a big fucking pill is that, huh? How kind of a big, giant fucking concept is that? How fucking sweeping and epic is that shit? I actually think the Big Bang Theory might be one of the worst shows for humankind. You know, I think it's useful to have a good example of what not to do. And that show is full of them. I've known guys like that. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I know those guys. It's not funny. Because they think they're funny. It made perfect sense to me. It made perfect sense that my ex loved it. Okay. Like that all makes sense. The dorkability, massage. Right, yeah. I grew up with all that shit. It's like I say, my mom's a programmer. All right. My parents met at a Mensa meeting. I was raised by geeks and nerds and alternate, lifestyle sorts and Wiccans and all that shit in the Midwest. Okay. That's my background and frame of reference. So I took one look at that show and it made perfect sense to me immediately. And I knew I didn't want to watch it. Oh, yeah. I love that. Pop Culture Detective. All his stuff is really good. Which, again, goes back to what we were saying. Like, we do not need to exterminate all men. How did they let you go not learning my multiplication tables? Well, because they were self-absorbed assholes. All right. Because, again, I'm going to repeat this. I said this before. Mensa is not a club for the smartest people. Mensa is a club for people who want to prove how smart they are. Nope. She was too busy going to meetings. Are you kidding me? Yeah. No. Being smart does not make you a good parent. Sorry. One wishes. So what you end up with is a room full of people who want to show off how smart they are, is what you get. It is sad. It is. But it's like what I said about the guy who was the first to volunteer for the authorities, the last one who should get it. It's counterintuitive. Intuition is important, but it is not the only thing. Like I say, I love material, testable reality, and logic. I do. Logic is like learning a second language for me. Okay, I'm very intuitive. But I think balance is key. Mensa is not for smart people. It's for smart. Right. Because when you have a club, you have to take an intelligence test to get into. The truly intelligent are too busy for that shit. Either literally in that they don't have time, or mentally, and I'm blasé about it because they're my parents, but I've noticed this about many other people too. The smartest, most productive, and capable people are not in Mensa. They're just not. It's a hotel room full of peacocking weirdos. Like any convention, really. It's the smart people. It's the look how smart I am convention. Yeah. I've been to many. Never care to join. No. Never care to join Wicca either. Oh my God, could I go on and on about Wicca? Because that was founded by a man? Because that makes sense, right? Yeah, because the one who's going to pass the oldest witchcraft tradition down to us is going to be a man. What? No. That makes no sense to me at all. What? No. And if you go all the way back, women were the mystics, okay? They stole all that. Yes, Gerald Gardner. He stole all that shit. Yes. And codified it and wrote it in books. Yes. And took credit for it, put his name on it. Yes. Again, that's what my book is about. Yeah, I'm building the stuff, honey. Yes. Actually, that's what I'm doing right now in book 3. The part I'm writing right now is I'm trying to tie it all together and really actually, illustrate these themes instead of just alluding to them and whatever. Yeah. And I'm not going to literally talk about, no, that's fine. It's fine. You don't have to traipse through 3 books worth of fiction to get this story. It just literally happened. Okay. It was 2 men, Gerald Gardner and I cannot remember the name of the guy who published Aradia. If either of Lest, if you remember or know anything about that, but it was the Bible of the Witches. Got distracted by the diaper change, the river, and hair brushing. You're watching your friend's kids, I take it? Is I not doing any of that. Sounds nice though, except for the diaper. I suppose a fresh bottom is nice. There's an upside to everything, right? Yeah. Yeah, Gerald, I believe his name was Gardner. It's definitely Gardner, which I've always thought was very ironic. That a man named Gardner would be the one who stole witchcraft. The first chapter in your book is what I'm referring to. Stuart. I don't remember. I wrote it down in a notebook that's not in here right now. Hang on. Aradia, the Gospel of the Witches, was written by Charles Godfrey Leland in 1899. Like it fucking was not. He managed to get some Italian witch to give him a handwritten copy of what she claimed was the Gospel of her coven. They worshipped Diana, the moon goddess, and whatever. It's fine, baby. It really is. Listen to the videos. That's part of the reason I'm doing it. So if people don't want to have to read it, they can just put it on, listen to it. It's fine. Love my previous video on this. Oh, the witches thing? Right. I did do a video on that in October. Witchcraft was stolen because it was. Thank you. I'm glad you watched that. Share it around. We need to spread the word. Yeah, it's part of what the research for the book inspired me to make the video. I think I mentioned that in the video. Most likely. Because goddamn if I can't stop talking about it. But I figure that's a good thing because I'm going to have to sell them at some point, like I said. Yeah. And if you're looking through it, it's the only one with the yellow and orange thumbnail back in October about how, a couple of different men in the early 20th century, 1899, whatever, literally stole witchcraft lore from a couple of different sources. And then there was a woman I read about more recently. I don't think I mentioned her in the video because I did not know about this. I don't think at the time. She was an academic, a British academic who was an acquaintance of Gardner's and something. Generic British academic woman's name. I can't remember her name right now. Oh my God. But she published a book that was influential at the time and has been since discredited. I think it might literally be named How Men Stole. Right, now the video is Witchcraft Was Stolen. This is the name of the video. I remember that one because, it was. And I went with the big black quick cowl and spooky with it and everything because it was Halloween. And like I say, it's the only one with a spooky kind of yellowy orange Halloweeny thumbnail. And if I did not tag it witches and witchcraft, then I'm an idiot and should go and do that right now, but I'm not gonna because I think I did. I don't think I'm that stupid. Anyway. God damn it. Where was I? I'm so tired, y'all. Because so has gone everything. Okay, and these days all you find is ooh. Where is that? Ooh, god damn it. Wait. I have exactly the quote for this because I found a couple of really interesting articles along this line the other day. I'm still writing the damn book. Let's see. Every scientific or technological advance encouraged a kind of magical thinking and was accompanied by a shadow discourse. No, that's the wrong thing. Right. Okay. We're talking about like occultism here. So the person who wrote this article used the term witchcraft and term occultism like interchangeably. I disagree with, but not the point. As with Francis Bacon, occult power is of a distinctly individualist, rationalist kind. It looks to manipulate nature at the command of the human will. Almost all the practices popular today, are oriented towards personal gratification, despite standing in opposition to modern capitalism. Their individualism and materialism end up succumbing to it. The very same paradox that ran through 60s counterculture, which Francis Bacon. Despite standing in opposition to capitalism, the materialist individualism ends up succumbing to it, which is the paradox that ran through and I think completely ended up undermining and essentially destroying all of the 60s countercultural movement, all that shit. Because they could not get away from the materialism, by which I mean sort of creature comfort sort of materialism. Sweet, sweet pun. Yeah. It's a salty pun. That's what that is. Yum. But I always have to clarify because I'm a nerd. It's not you, it's me. I promise. Yeah, but so I found this in an article on Unheard the other day, which I should credit, and I wrote it down in a different place because I ended up copying out more of it somewhere else. But yeah, capitalist materialism, we could call it maybe. Consumerism. There it is. There's a word for that. Words. Consumerism. Being unable to break away from consumerism undermines everything like that. Every countercultural movement, every philosophical school of thought, such as, any sort of spiritual practice or, because, and I've written this in the books, but I like it a lot, that your life does not belong to you alone. Okay. It's not either or. It's not that it's not yours, because it is, but it's not yours alone. Okay. Because obviously you sort of belong to the world as well, just as much as it belongs to you. And that's my feeling on it. And like I was saying a little while ago, balance is key. And it's you got to tweak that scale every damn day, don't you? Every day. It's exhausting and relentless. But such is life. Man, days start coming and they don't stop coming. Isn't that right? Didn't some man say that or something? Every once in a while they stumble upon something decent. Anybody still here? I journaled for years. I could literally sit and do this to the wall all day. Smash Mouth. Yes. And I've always used that fact to suggest that women don't even belong to themselves, perverting the effect and whatnot. Here you're feeding your cat. Right on. Okay. Feed the kitty. Feed the kitty. Right. So they belong to themselves and we belong to them. How about both are true for everyone? Duh. I like to, not to brag to my own horn, but I like the phrasing that I came up with where your life is not yours alone. Because it is yours. Just not Only yours. And, I think it's more obvious when you're a woman, especially if you have a baby, right? And I think that to women, a lot of times, the interconnectedness of humankind is just more obvious for fairly obvious reasons, I think. For your alarm clock, waking up at 10:30, such a girl. Yeah, we sleep with the door closed a lot of times. We don't get that. Or she'll sleep on the bed. She messes with me as soon as I get up, though. Oh, man, the minute my feet hit the floor, she's ready. Yeah, 6 a.m. How did I set the timing? I push her off the bed. She tries to get me up earlier because I was up until 2 messing with something else. And boy, howdy, there's a hard line. I have to get the kid to school by 8. There is no oversleeping. And if there is, I'm not the one who suffers for it. God. All right, so you're going to talk about a good alarm clock. Guilt. She was raised in male prison. She's very polite. Your cat? Okay. Well, fuck, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, scared of men. Well, hey, you'll never have to worry about a. Oh, you'll always know when there's a man nearby. My cat I had growing up was scared of men too. For apparently no reason. I got her when she was 8 weeks old. She just was always kind of they're bigger and louder, is what I always assumed. Put men on the TV, she hides. My gosh. Oh my god, Trey having a son who's turning into one. Well, that's a bad thing, but every once in a while I'll be around the corner and hear this man's voice in the next room be like, who the oh, right. Oh my god. But if women are upset, she comes and sits on my lap. Oh, poor baby. That's some trauma. Oh, poor baby. Listen, go and cuddle your kitty. I gotta let y'all go anyway. It's 2:30, for heaven's sake. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We went way over. And thanks for all the likes and everything. This has been so great. A much more fruitful conversation topic, and I love that we're cooking them up. This is so great. I'm excited. Really, 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 really. And there's men outside. Yeah. Right. Their hearing's better than ours. Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is. Well, I'll see y'all next weekend. And in between, let's say 2 more chapter readings this week. Tuesday and Thursday. Does that sound good? And, I'm trying to get back direct into the political commentary. It's so much less fun than discussing these kind of broader topics with y'all. And B, specifically lately, the atmosphere is so aggravating. Everybody's just saying the same thing over and over, like we were saying at the beginning, where they just kind of steal this talking point from someone else and run with it without actually looking into anything. That's not what a response video is supposed to, that's not what? It's the difference between a response video and a reaction video. They don't get what that is. Anyways, definitely gonna have some more of the book because I gotta start putting it out there. It's gonna be a year next month that I've been working on it. So, shit, I gotta put it out there. Otherwise, why? Thank you so much for joining me, ladies. It's been fun, truly. And wish me luck bringing those themes to life. My God, and tying all that up. Thanks. You have a great day too. And Lust, I have no idea what time it is there. I hope the weather clears up for you or holds up for you or whatever. Have a good weekend. Or good Sunday. Is it Saturday night there? Either way, have a good one. Had to tend to your cat. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I was just saying, I think I need to go anyways. We've been at this for 2.5 hours or something. Yeah, I'm not sure what time it is there. Is it Saturday night there? I said have a good weekend, and the weekend might be half over, so I don't know. Yeah, that'll put us up to, oh my gosh. And somebody was saying they love clothes. Was that Melissa? I think it was. The crinoline chapter. Oh my god. I'm really looking forward for feedback on some of this stuff specifically. If she liked the train ride in the fucking secondhand shop, man, boy, she's gonna love the crinoline scene. I live in the future. It's Sunday already. Ooh, yeah, those international time zones are choice. Well, then happy Sunday and have a good week, and we'll see you next Sunday morning, I suppose. How is the future? They haven't exploded us yet. Ooh. I'm gonna wait around for that, and then I seriously gotta go. Also, my headphones are getting ready to die. Hey, could you let me know when you finish? Because I still gotta clean in there. I told the kid he had to clean his room before he could go out with his girlfriend, and then I put my desk in his room, and I don't want him to come in here and bother me. You can't tell me Aussies have to sign contracts. Oh, no. Classic. That's what they all say. It would be. It would be. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. I may use that. My husband's gonna like that. Thank you, ladies, so much. Where's this little pick me up for my week on this gray day? Ooh. And I will get those chapter readings out for you this week, at least a couple. Tuesday and Thursday, I'm thinking. And we'll see y'all next weekend for another interesting conversation, I'm sure. Bye for now. Have a good one.